Alrighty. Well, welcome back to another amazing podcast that we do every single day, almost. We have our returning guest, Josiah
I'm ready.
Biggs, being Mr. Josiah Biggs as himself. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Rodney Dangerfield, and let's go kick some ass, kids.
And we are joined by our illustrious new guest, Trey Carpenter. Who are you, Trey Carpenter? Introduce yourself.
I am just a new 19-year-old who goes to a very bullshit expensive college that I had to leave for a long time because part of my intestine decided to explode. So, here I am sitting at home recording a podcast with these shits.
And I am, of course, Sterling Silver. Oh my god. So, how this usually goes on is what we did with our weeks. Why don't we start with Trey? What have you been doing your entire life until now?
So recently, the Steam sale really got me. I have a few.
Which one? There are a lot.
The winter one. I have a few friends and I who, anytime a weird bullshit multiplayer game comes out, we're usually on it pretty quick. So we've been playing Warhammer Vermintide, which is a really weird class, first-person melee / range. Yeah, it's very Left 4 Dead. And so we've been playing a lot of that, a lot of Jedi Academy, which normally I am fairly good at multiplayer versus games. And this one, the score usually ends up, my friends are like, if it's to 15, they're like around 15, the other guy's at 13, and I'm usually around -2. I am absolutely god-awful at these Jedi Jedi Academy games. I don't get it. I don't understand anything. I'm kind of just clicking until someone dies, and then usually I accidentally get force pushed off a cliff and then lose a lot of points. That Wolfenstein is amazing. I love everything about it. Just picked it up a few days ago.
That's the
New Order, yeah. There's the Old Blood, but I'm not playing that right now. I'm just getting through for New Order, and it is fantastic. I think I fucking love the writing in that game. It's really getting a good Nazi hate going on, which I mean, which isn't something that needs to be invigorated a lot, but I'm really feeling it right now.
I mean, who really hated the Nazis, though? I mean, I think you're a pretty vocal minority there.
I'm taking a hardline stance on this one, but the Nazis were kind of bad guys.
Oh man, I don't know. My history teacher told me a lot of different, a lot of controversial things, man.
Oh man, my history teacher, his name was Klaus. He told me a lot about him too, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, he used to live in Ecuador, but then back in the 70s he moved back to the United States. At least he said he was from the United States. He really didn't look like it though.
Oh man. So I've been playing that. I've been playing 7 Days to Die a lot, which I don't know if you ever heard of. It's still an alpha. It's been an alpha for 2 or 3 years now.
It's like a survival type.
Yeah, it's kind of Rusty or DayZ or something. Yeah. I like it more than the others, but it's.
Isn't it like a crafting?
Yeah, voxel-based crafting, less creative, more survival though. So I've been playing that with my friends and starting World War III in it against a tyrant who we ended up supporting by giving him all the food he needed and everything so he could make his base, and then because he had all this time to just construct a fortress, we can't touch him. So I'm in a one-man war against what appears to be an unstoppable fortress of death. So, like, I go over the ridge and all I see is this one thing that looks vaguely like Mordor, which is what he ended up naming it. And it's like surrounded by a valley, and in the middle is this burned out section with a giant hill tower in the middle of it, surrounded by about 1 million spikes. So it's pretty impenetrable, but I'm just going at it with explosives until eventually, hopefully one day, it'll fall. Yeah, and maybe in a few years I'll see Beta, but we'll have to wait for that. And that has pretty much been my past week or two. Christmas was fun.
So, nothing in movie realm?
Saw
TV
Star
wise.
Wars for the third time on Christmas Eve. First, on opening night, I went with my girlfriend, and then, like, a week later, I went with a bunch of friends, and then Christmas Eve, I went with the family. And it's... I don't know how spoilery we're going to get later if we are, but for now, I'll keep it non-spoiler. Movie's fucking great. It's amazing. I love it. I love how on my third viewing I was still getting excited for shit and like noticing new things. So movie's great. I don't know if either of you have seen it. I assume you have.
I've seen it. Josiah, I don't think he had.
Okay.
I'm seeing it tomorrow for sure. First thing in the morning.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm so late. It's
No,
just
that's a
I
good-
had a lot of
Yeah.
I had the flu for 5 days. I'm still coming off of it.
I almost had to go back to the hospital the 16th, the day before it came out, for more appendicitis shit. And I looked my girlfriend in the eye and I said, if I'm in the hospital tomorrow, you're fucking breaking me out. I've played the first mission of Metal Gear Solid 5 a few times. I can do it. I know the secret ways. So if it comes to this, you need to take the hit from me. Fortunately, it didn't end up happening. I dragged my body down there at the midnight showing and saw it. It came out of the theater just thoroughly amazed. So I look forward to hear your reactions, Josiah.
Yes, we'll be having a spoiler cast next podcast after I see it 2 times
Fantastic.
and can fully ingest.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I
But,
might have to go in for a second viewing too.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'll definitely see it twice this week. Today and probably, or tomorrow, then the next day. Maybe today. I don't know. That's the time after this. No, continue. Anything else? Any other movies? Any other shows?
I watched Mad Max again yesterday. It's a
Mad
good
Max
ass
is
movie. Fury Road, the new one. It's a fucking good movie. Less good the second time, I think. It's definitely a movie based on wow factor and holy shit, how did they do that? I think it's definitely improved by knowing that so little of it is CGI, and that shit's awesome. But yeah, it doesn't really hold up as much. I don't think.
The rest of the Mad Max movies?
I saw the first one years and years ago. I don't think I've seen the others. I might have in passing, but not not committed.
So you never seen Beyond the Thunderdome or Road Warrior?
Beyond the Thunderdome, I know I've seen bits of at least. I might have seen the whole thing a long time ago with my grandpa or some shit because he loves those movies. But I don't remember much of it if I have.
So is that it?
I would say that's about it, yeah.
So nothing in the show realms?
I haven't been watching many new shows lately. When I was in the hospital, I watched a lot of Workaholics, which I hadn't really seen before, and now I'm fully on the hype train for if anyone's I need a funny show to watch, I will recommend Workaholics, but I'm not watching out for new episodes or anything. A month or 2 before I went in the hospital, I sat down and did the whole Rick and Morty thing. And that's some good shit.
I can't wait for the 3rd season.
Yeah, I know, it's going to be great. Rick and Morty was fantastic. I'm really late on that one.
You have time to catch up.
Yeah, what else? I know there's something else. We'll get to the best shows of the year later, so... I'll call it there for now. That's all.
Alright.
Sterling.
Anything Me?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The host with the most.
What did I do this whole entire week? Well, I finally beat Bloodborne in its entirety with the DLC.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
I like it. It's very good. I still like Dark Souls 1 a little bit more.
Agreed.
For its replayability, for its simplicity, and it's like easy to get into, Bloodborne is still very great. Anything else? Because like I've been mostly doing Bloodborne stuff, because I've been watching like a whole lot of shows that I'm supposed to be getting done with. But yeah,
A quick question, Stanley. What weapon did you main?
That's a good question. Very important.
I mained. Oh my gosh! At first, I mained the saw cleaver.
Oh yeah.
It was a fun little like stride. I tried to get into the, I forget what it's called, but it's the stockpile or whatever it is, where like it's like a spear and then you like push it in.
Oh.
And like I forget what that's called.
Oh shit! I forgot what it's called too.
Oh crap.
It's like
Oh god damn it!
But I've been using that like a whole lot. I've been trying to because my build was to go for that one guy from Deus Ex, the
oh shit, that's funny.
Freaking, oh my gosh, wow, my memory, it's escaping.
Just suddenly vanishing when you need
I
it.
know. The guy who says I never asked for this, yeah, that guy. I made him exactly try to be like that. So the stockpile, I think what it is, or pile bunker.
Pile bunker, yeah.
Oh, the pile bunker. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Ryder Palace, or however the hell you pronounce it.
Yeah. See, that's the one that I was thinking of. The one with the really hard name.
But no, the pile bunker.
Steak driver. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about old punchy stab.
Yeah, I was trying to get into that, and to no avail. I was like, I don't really like this weapon. And then I opted to get into, which is my current weapon. Well, it won't be for long, but my current weapon is the Ludwig.
Holy Blade?
Holy Blade?
Yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
The bleach sword, you mean?
It's the Dark Souls weapon.
Yeah.
When I played Bloodborne, I went to a week for college, year one, and we had like a week of nothing really to do before classes started. And before I knew it, like 3 days later, my HA came out into the common room and asked me and a new friend I had made, like, have you guys been outside or taken a shower? And we paused the game and looked at Bloodborne and I was like, oh, you've played for 80 hours in the past 3 days. And we did the math, like, that's only 72. What? So some weird Cthulhu bullshit happened. We ended up playing a lot of Bloodborne in a very short amount of time and just powered through it all. It's a fucking great game. I love it.
Yeah, also, even though it's a very old game, well, not really that old, but I've been trying to pass Final Fantasy X on my old save data.
Wow.
That I have like 138 hours clocked into. Just because I really, really love grinding. That's my jam, and I'm trying my hardest to get all the spheres, grids.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, something that really bothers me about this game is the freaking mini games that are random as all Hello Kitty land, but wowzers. But
I thought you loved that sort of thing.
Oh,
Sterling.
No, I do love it. It makes the world go round. It's
That's fucking funny.
Why Jesus wept for this world when he
Oh man.
And Jesus wept.
He wept with joy.
This is all coming to some bad RNGesus bullshit.
But yeah, Final Fantasy X, great game. Those mini games can go kill itself, though.
I've never been a fan of most RPG minigames. I can't really think of any good ones.
The card ones are all pretty
Triple
fun.
Triad, yeah, that one's fun.
Even though the Final Fantasy IX's cards are randomized as well. But yeah, Final Fantasy X, all I'm trying to do is just get like everybody's powerful weapon. And wowzers, do you have to do some Cracker Jack cheese box stuff in there. One of them has you to dodge lightning 200 times in a row.
Like just like Prince Zuko.
Like how it works is you move around in a environment where like monsters can appear, but I have an item that makes them not appear, which is like the best item I've ever gotten in a game. But that's not the best weapon apparently, but it's a good one. You just have that equipped and you just walk around and the screen flashes white and you're supposed to for half a millisecond and you're supposed to press X at that same exact time to dodge it, and you have to do it 200 times consecutively, and it's always randomized in how much time it gives you in between.
Wow.
And sometimes it's 5 in a row, right after another, and then sometimes it's 5 hours until you get to oh hey, lightning bolt struck.
Oh, I mean, I understood what you said last time, but now I really understand what you said.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's the worst.
That's awful.
When it's random, but then it's also random intervals that don't really have a cap.
Now there is a.
I mean, I'm sure there is a cap, but I mean, it's ridiculous.
There's a little sheet where you can go in this one area, in a secluded area where you just walk back and forth. And it usually hits twice every 2 seconds or whatever. And I've been trying to do that, but my timing is in my old age, it's getting away from me. But yeah. And then that's not even including all the other randomization of the other mini games that you have to do to get other items.
Jeez.
Which is, yeah. Great game, bad mini game, but yeah. As I've been doing that, I've been going through the shows that I'm supposed to watch in anime, which is the Bubblegum Crisis universe. So far, I've already finished AD Police. I'm trying to write a review of it right now. But wowzers, is that ever not really a necessary thing to ever watch? Only if you like cop dramas and you really want cop dramas, but in the future. But other than that, it's just nothing. The characters that you want to care for aren't really that caring at all. There's this reveal that you see in the first episode of the 12 episodes that are there, and it reveals it at the end. It's oh my gosh, I didn't know that was coming at all. But yeah, you did, because it even showed you in the intro. And that's racist. It's super racist that they do that. That's one of those things that the intro just doesn't care that if it spoils something.
Next week on Dragon Ball Z.
Frieza defeated. Oh my gosh. How will Frieza be defeated?
No spoilers. That's actually coming up in Super.
And other than that, I started with the last of a series of Bubblegum Crisis called Parasite Dolls.
Whoa.
And if you want Metal Gear Solid's general, or forget who it is, Campbell's voice actor, if you want him to be your voice of your main character, then there you go.
That's him?
That's a show to watch, and it's only 3 episodes of an OVA, and so far it's good. I wouldn't say it's very necessary as the other 2 that were pretty much amazing, which was Bubblegum Crisis with Crash and Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. Yeah, those 2. It's pretty great. After I get done with that one, I have to go to Heat Guy J. I've heard stuff about it, but I've never even seen anything about it, but I heard it's okay, so I'm gonna go through it. Other than that, I did watch a lot of movies this week.
Alright, hit us.
I did watch like a whole Martin Scorsese little run through and Chuck Norris movie. With the Martin Scorsese movies, I watched Raging Bull.
Ooh,
A
nice.
very good movie, but when I watched it like a long time ago, I only ever seen like halfway through and then the ending, like from the halfway point to the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recently watched it, and at the time of when I watched it halfway, I thought it was one of the best things I've ever watched. And now watching it in its entirety, I'm like, that's a good film. That's it. But yeah, it was fun. I like the cinematography. The cinematography of Martin Scorsese films are always top notch. Like Molto Bene. Well, yeah, and then the next movie, King of Comedy. That one is like, if you want American Psycho with a little bit of humor, like more humor than not, then this is your movie. It's amazingly hilarious, but it's also very chilling and suspenseful in the ways of how this guy cons his way and lies about everything and gets people to believe him, and it's awesome. And then the next one of Martin Scorsese films, which was the last one that I watched, which was Casino.
Oh, yeah.
That was an amazing ride. Great cinematography as well. There's nothing really much else to say about it. If you like Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci doing their stuff, then this is a great film for you.
I thought Joe Pesci stuff was just like hunting down small children.
Well,
He's got to find prey that's his size.
yeah.
That's what people don't understand.
Other than that, the Chuck Norris movies I watched, which were 2 of the most Americanized movies I've ever seen in my entire life, which was The Delta Force. Freaking amazing movie.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar, but I think I already know everything about it.
It's about like terrorists that
Yeah.
hijack a plane,
Mm-hmm.
and Chuck Norris does Chuck Norris stuff and saves them. And it's awesome.
Is there a one-liner at the end?
Hilarious enough, Chuck Norris does not do one-liners very great, but
No.
at the moment of time of which he says it, it's hilarious because it's either super ridiculous in how he would come up with such a line, or it doesn't even work. And
Yeah.
both times are hilarious.
Yeah. Chuck Norris tends to be like the Hank Hill type of guy, you know, in which his final remarks is like just short of a paragraph, some sort of like lesson you should have just learned. And if it's not that, it always seems a little out of place.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
man.
the other movie was Sidekicks, and this is the most meta film I've ever seen in my life, which is a kid. The whole story is about a kid who fantasizes about doing action-y films with Chuck Norris. Like, the actual story is just that he has fantasies of Chuck Norris, and it goes through all of his school life.
Wow.
It's like, it's a detriment to his learning process, but at the end, like, he meets Chuck Norris, and then they do Chuck Norris stuff together, and it's a great film for kids who like Chuck Norris.
It's a detriment to his school life.
Yeah, like, when he fantasizes about Chuck Norris, he kind of, like, is in a state of, like, ecstasy or something.
The teacher's like,
And it's
he's
like, the
turning in
teacher's
book
just
reports.
like, what the heck are you doing, dog? And, yeah. And,
Oh, man.
other than that...
What's it called again?
Sidekicks?
Sidekicks. Alright.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
It's hilarious. Like, the trailers to the Chuck Norris movies, like, because I went through, like, a lot of them just to see, like, oh, should I watch this one or this one? And a lot of the trailers do a lot of those movies justice. Like, it's hilarious. Other than that, nothing too much else. Yeah,
When
that's my week.
when was
What about
Sidekicks
you?
made? I feel like I might have.
Sidekicks was made in 1990 or 1989, maybe?
80. Does the kid have asthma?
Yeah.
Of course he does.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was the 90s, like every kid had asthma.
What was Goonies, where it's just like the main
Yeah.
character development?
Oh my gosh.
The
yeah,
main
totally
character development for the main character is he has asthma.
has asthma. Uh-huh.
That's all you
So
need to
what
know.
have you been doing, Josiah, this whole entire week of being sick?
Well, besides barely holding on to the cliff known as life, I made some giant strides in Kamen Rider Den O, and I finally got invested in 2 characters
Gasp.
out of like the 8. And so I'm 10 episodes till the end, and I'm kind of putting it off. But I'm gonna finish it this weekend. Obviously, I have plenty of time, so I'm gonna finish that and have a review up probably by Sunday. And then get started into the next, probably much better series.
Which is?
Not too sure. Let me double check that. It would be Kamen Rider Kiva.
Kiba.
Kiva. V.
Kiba.
Ki-
Yeah, I know.
Kaiba. It's Kamen Rider Kaiba Corps.
Seto Kaiba?
Ah, I was about to go for that.
No, but yeah. So I don't really know that much about it, but most anything could follow this one and impress me.
So
This is
Kamen Rider
so far it's
Den
been-
O glowing reviews from Josiah. 11
Yeah,
out of 10
11 out of
must
10.
watch.
Show your kids as soon as they're born. But no, I would get into it, but I'll save that for the review, and it's chock full of spoilers, and I don't know. It's really interesting what they did. They just did too much, and the main character sucks, but and not in a good way.
Great.
Not in the fun way.
But besides that, the fall season just ended, and the winter season's about to pick up. And so, for those following, Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt had its first episode 2
Yep,
days
I
ago.
heard.
And so I'm saving that for this weekend as well, so I can be alone in the house while I watch it. But no, besides that, everything's coming to an end except for our headliners, like obviously One Piece. Dragon Ball Super is still going strong. Haikyuu.
One Punch
which is
just
the
ended, right?
volleyball. Yeah, One Punch ended last week.
Yeah.
And so that was good, and it cut the series off in a way that they can definitely make a season 2, which is nice.
But aren't they just doing OVAs now?
Actually, no, they already finished the OVAs. They haven't all been translated yet. But no, they
How many
finished.
OVAs are there?
Well, they finished the first wave. The second wave, I believe, finishes in March. And I think there's 6. I want to say there's 6. I haven't really looked into it too much. I was going to do that, obviously,
And they
this
already
weekend.
finished those?
I'm sorry?
They already finished those 6?
No, they finished the first 3, I believe. Again, nothing said. I don't really know. I haven't looked 100% at it, so don't quote me on this. But you know, like that was my impression when I heard about it when the first one came out. But again, you know, I was planning on. I've been putting off a lot of stuff to the weekend because I was sick.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I had a lot of fever dreams. And so, you know, you don't really do a lot of important documentation.
Any good fever dreams?
No.
I had a good ass one the other week. It's fucking great. All 3 Star Wars came out at one. Like all 7, 8, 9 came out on like the 27th, 28th, and 29th respectively.
Oh come on! It's J.J. Abrams produced it. It wasn't or directed it. It wasn't Peter Jackson.
So like everyone's going, and you had to ride like a fucking gondola to get to it, and it was like Star Wars land. It was fucking great. It's just like
I wish I had that.
We need to make like $10 billion right now. Just all of them go. God damn it! I'm so stoked.
No, but besides that, there are some other series going through. Aurari no Seraph 2 finished, and I was a little bit disappointed because it looks like they're definitely setting up for a 3rd season because
really?
they have to. Yeah, because I mean, spoilers, no spoilers, but the last sequence is the main character walking into the ocean while everyone else is screaming at him, and he's not like returning their, you know, urgency. And they're just like chasing after him because he just like split from the group and started walking to the ocean. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely a setup for the next. There's no way you just end a series on that. Like, I mean, unless you just committed suicide. I don't know. But I mean, it's not really a big spoiler. But it, you know, but the series is all right. It's not bad. But it's not. It's like, you know, it's like the humdrum, you know.
Yeah.
The animes that are just, you know, like even, you know, they're even. But this one is trying to be really good, but it's not really good. But you can tell that it's trying, like it's learning.
Yeah.
It's learning, but not. It's still not great. It's just achieved good, and even then, you're still really shaky about it. Like you're afraid it's gonna get good. I don't really know how to. I'll have to watch the 3rd season before I can, you know, make a huge.
If there is.
Oh yeah, dude, this stuff is blowing up like all over. There was even another person that started a thread on the Hypest about it, and I was like, and they were like, "Oh man, this ending's so great, go watch this." And I'm like, I saved it for later. So I'm like, I'll return to you. Because I saw that last night, and I'm like, ooh, that's not that's not right. But no, besides that, Ushida Tora is still going strong and still following the manga almost page for page, which is great. Especially since it's like back in the 80s manga era. Let's see, what else? There's not much else to talk about that really finished that was really big. Because we'll go into that later on the best of 2015.
Yeah.
Now myself, I also watched a couple movies because I was, you know, sick and in bed and writing. I needed something playing in the background that I didn't need to pay attention to 24/7. You know, just so I can come in and out of it. So I finally, actually, sat through all of Tremors 2 for the first time.
Oh,
I'd seen Tremors
you're a
1,
brave man.
Tremors 3, and Tremors 4, but I'd never seen all of Tremors 2.
Yeah.
And so I finally sat down and watched that, and that's alright. It's not bad. It's what I wanted it to be, so it's good. And then I also sat down and watched Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 all the way through, because I'd only seen bits and pieces of both of them. And I have Army of Darkness, because somehow I'd forgotten that movie existed. Army of Darkness, because I knew Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And I watched Evil Dead, like, pieces, but, my mom really didn't like horror films, and so I was trying to sneak that by her. Back in the old days, I could only see bits and pieces of it when it was on TV, whenever she wasn't in the room,
Yeah.
And so, but I finally watched both of those back to back, which is great. And so, yeah, I already knew they were great, but it's just good to finally get the fulfillment of knowing everything. But, let's see, what else did I watch?
So you haven't watched Army of Darkness, or you have?
No.
Then go watch it.
I'm waiting to, once we get done with this podcast. I'm going to do that, and I guess I can't go watch Star Wars right after this. I got to watch
Army of Darkness.
Yeah. And then Star Wars.
Star Wars can wait, damn it.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is my childhood right there. Like all of it. Like you'll see why.
Oh, I already watched the review.
It's an army. And
they're dark.
It's all war.
I already watched Cinemassacre's review of all three of them. Just to make sure that I need to go see Army of Darkness, because the third sometimes always doesn't come out great, especially in that.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Like Hellraiser 3.
What are you talking about? That's the best one. But, no, I just wanted to make sure that it was, worth my time, really. Not that I didn't suspect it, but, you always want to double check.
Yeah.
With something especially that I forgot, completely fell off the face of the earth in my mind for whatever reason. But besides that, I don't think I watched anything else. No, I didn't watch anything else important. Although they did confirm that Boruto OVA.
Oh my god.
So I'm happy about that.
Is this the first animated thing that we see of Boruto?
No, the Boruto movie already came out.
Oh, okay.
And it had a 91%.
Oh, man.
No, I had 92 on Rotten Tomatoes by audience score, because no critics has seen it yet.
Have you, well, you probably haven't, but there's a game that's Ultimate Shippuden or whatever.
Yeah.
And DLC barely came out today for Boruto that you can have characters on it. I'm like, ooh, what are these characters? They look way better than all the rest of the Naruto stuff. And yeah, they look good for some reason. But yeah, that's just like a little passing thing of where I'm on the stores. So yeah.
Well, now that we're done with our Boruto corner for the week.
Moving on to the Boruto cast.
Let's see. Anything? No. Let's see. I did want to talk about the series that my expectations for the animus coming up next week. Most of them are premiering next week. If not, yeah, it's next weekend is when the new season starts. Next week and the weekend after that. Well, just the winter season lineup.
Alright, I need a list of new animes.
Of course, I have the list pulled up right now.
Fantastic.
We got Assassination Classroom 2, which is going to be great. And then you can start watching it, Sterling, because that'll be the last... because the manga is just about to end.
Yeah.
And by the time they start producing that, the manga will have ended. I think so, yeah. Well, the way that I see it, unless they just get really, because the TV show will make him plenty of money, and then he'll probably move on to another series. Because this guy has made, I forget the actual artist, but he's made other mangas before, so he's not just all or nothing on this manga. So it's not his bread and butter. He can actually come up with other good ideas. Maybe not all of them getting anime. Yeah. But enough that they sell and are decently popular on the web. That they have a presence. So I'm pretty sure this will probably they may have a third. They might flush out a third season. It may not be canon, but who knows? Other things to look out for. Let's see here. Oh yeah, they got the third season of the third part of the second season of Durarara, and it'll finally end. This is the end.
The end, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then you can start watching that too. That'll be good. This finally ties up all the loose ends. Is what it's supposed to do. Is what the trailer looks like, and so I'm very happy because I've been really wondering because it's been great. It hasn't gone so far away from the main plot, that I've gotten lost, all hope in it or anything like that. But it's the perfect timing now to finally wrap up everything.
Yeah.
Then we have actually Fairy Tail Zero, which is the prequel to Fairy Tail, and I actually read the manga on that one as well. And so I will be excited to see that series. It should only be 12, 24 episodes, something like that. It's not very long. Because it fashions right into the regular series, and they didn't, draw it out for stupid amounts of time, which is great. And then everybody else's favorite, the second season of Gate, Age of Consent, is coming out.
Oh my god!
And I'm really excited for that. Oh, and also other Naruto news. We have Itachi's story is coming out, where we see everything from Itachi's side. They're making a adaptation of that based on a light novel.
Now, I don't want to come off as somebody who doesn't know about Naruto, but who's Itachi?
Itachi is Sasuke's brother.
Let's sandbag that.
Yeah. Yeah, Sasuke. He has the brother, and that's kind of the whole point. Why Sasuke is because he wants to kill his brother. Spoilers alert from 13 years ago. Is that he wants to kill his brother because of misdeeds. His brother basically killed off all of his clan except for him and his brother, and so. For reasons, and so this will discuss everything seen from his perspective, because you see it from everyone else's basically everybody else's perspective in Naruto. You see it from except for a half episode of flashback, and that was only seen from Sasuke's point of view for whatever reason, even though Itachi was bringing it up. You're supposed to see it through the eyes of Sasuke still, and I'm like, okay, but no, so that'll be interesting. Because you really don't, why he's doing it, and what he's doing and everything like that. At a certain point in the series, you pick it up. So
is this coming off a bit of unnecessary vibes from you?
No. It'll be interesting to see his actual motivation and see how he reacts in certain situations where you didn't actually see him react, or where he was trying to save face. And so this will give a lot more subtleties to this enigma that was an enigma for half of freaking Naruto.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of invested in that a little bit.
All right.
I'm open. I want to see where it goes. I'm hoping. I have an idea of what I want it to do, but I'm really scared that it's never gonna get there. And besides that, there's not a lot. Besides that,
how about that new Berserk?
Oh, he's off the boat.
Yeah, but that's not coming out this winter. That's coming out in spring.
It's coming out in April or whatever.
April
spring.
2019.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I hope he gets right back on the boat on like page 2. I hope to God they're just like, oh shit, wrong island. And they get back on the boat for like 5 more years. Be the fucking greatest heel turn of manga history.
I don't know, the 3 new chapters, the 2 new chapters that came out over the Christmas break were pretty good so far.
They were? That's good to hear.
It was really good, and they introduced a new booty. new witch booty. So I was very happy about that. There is one other thing, and that's where you get the Digimon Trey movie 2. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's in like 70 days.
Jesus.
That'll take a while
to
hit us.
Shit, 7 days. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
That's about everything I have on the anime front for things to come and things happening.
You also said that you finished Blackjack a while ago. Young Blackjack.
Yeah, that one ended early because it didn't have any breaks in it like some of the other shows. Like, sometimes they'll just skip a weekend.
Yeah. So how was it?
Well, wait, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So good, I take it. Alright.
Yes. I want to talk to you about it at the appropriate time.
Alright, Sterling, what's on your watch list?
On my watch list?
Things that are 10 years old. Only he needs them nice and ripe and old. He doesn't like these young animus.
Oh, geez, you're not even down.
No. Well, I understand, dude. Every once in a while, I'll go and I'll do an 80s. Like, before I started my Kamen Rider adventures, like, I would just go back and find really obscure old animes to watch. And just, like, cleanse my palate of a lot of the crap that comes out these days.
How about them Nadia, man?
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
That's good.
I don't know how I never heard about that before you're...
Exactly right.
How did the internet not tell me?
Also, have you not seen Gunbuster yet?
It's on my list. I just started my vet. I'm almost done with Kamen Rider. I only got
I'm not one to overhype anything, but out of all of Gainax that I've seen so far, that's the best one.
I've got 3 more series until I catch up to 4s, and then once I hit 4s, so 4, I have 4, and I was already halfway through 4, so I can skip through most of it. I just recap. I'll just go watch the flashback episode. No, so I got 3 actual full series to watch, and then I have to watch Driver, and then Ghost will not be finished by that time, so I'll be good. So I just have 4.5 more Kamen Riders to watch before.
Are you going to do the Kamen Rider that was before all this, of the era?
I can't. The reason I started the Heisei area is because I can only find Black RX. Everything else is really hard. I couldn't find Stronger. I mean, I could find it, but I couldn't actually acquire it. If you understand my phrasing.
Yes.
But because I tried so hard. There was even a nice place that I found in the real world. To legally obtain the series that had all of them, but for some reason they were out of certain copies. But
oh my god.
Moving on.
Yeah. Alright. So you're done with all your week?
Yeah.
Alright. So this comes the part where we muster up the courage to put forth our favorites.
Oh shit.
Anything. Now how this will work is if this comes about of like if you pick something that most people have seen and are on that list or anything like that, you can converse with them freely or whatever. Like say like the Star Wars thing, like, oh hey, the Star Wars was great.
I'm fucking.
Like, oh yeah, I can.
I'm wearing BB-8 socks right now.
Be like whatever. And yeah, so without further ado, if you want to start with your stuff, Trey.
All right.
Well, if I could just
go ahead.
Interject real fast.
Interjection.
Oh shit. Overruled.
But I don't mean to overthrow you, Mr. Silver. But no, I don't want to host or anything like that. But I would like to introduce two separate categories for this. It was the best of 2015 and the best that you saw
in 2015.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah,
also,
so two separate categories here.
Let's have a third one there at the end of the absolute worst pile of garbage you fucking saw.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I feel like that was always important.
Well, we can always do that. We do that every podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
I thought the one I thought about the most probably was best like series on like television series, and I'm torn between Last Week Tonight, which is just fucking solid every week, or Daredevil, or Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
All three of them get my pick. If I had to choose, I'd probably be with John Oliver. But Daredevil's really good. I think I really like that. I haven't seen what's it called, Jessica Jones yet. I haven't seen that. That's like next on my list. But Daredevil and Last Week Tonight are the two I think deserve best of 2K15. John Oliver just decimated the whole fucking concept of a talk show, like a late night, very Daily Show-esque. But they're on HBO. So, one, fuck commercials. Two, you get to say the word I just said. So they get away with a lot of extra stuff. And probably the moment where it clicks, in my opinion, is I think it's like the second episode of season 2. But they're talking, like he does like a big subject every week. So like the first 5 or 6 minutes of the episode every week is like a monologue, what happened in the week, and then the rest of it is like a big takedown of something. And this was the one where it really started getting like real world ramifications. So it's on like big tobacco, and at the end of the episode he shows, so we made this mascot, and its name is like Jeff the Diseased Lung, and it's just this nasty looking fucking lung. And then the camera pans out, and it's on a giant ass billboard on a huge skyscraper. And then he's like, and this is right across from this, and it pans to the right, and on the other side of the street is like Marlboro headquarters. And then it goes like this, all these third world countries that Marlboro's like paying tons of money to like get legislation in for like stopping anti-tobacco campaigns, and these billboards are everywhere. And so it's just, that's the moment where it starts like having real world consequences, and it's fucking amazing. So that is awesome. Daredevil, the moment it clicks is the very end of episode 2, which is a hallway. It's not even out yet.
What? Season 2?
Episode 2, the end of it is a fight scene with like 2 shots. And the scene between the 2 shots is like a pan kind of underneath a beam, so it looks like one shot. So it's all very seamless, and it's just a perfect choreographed fight scene, and it's amazing. And Better Call Saul is just the fucking greatest spin-off of a drama show ever. There's not much more to say about that. Just take the most bullshit funny character from a good-ass show and make it all about him.
What if I told you that someone already did that with a different show?
I'm sure there have. I'm trying to think of which one you're talking about right now. Lots. This one isn't the best.
No, it's. I'll just tell it. It's Mork and Mindy.
Oh yeah.
Morgan.
The best, the unequivocal best spin-off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Better Call Saul's off the list. It's Daredevil and Last Week Tonight.
No, I mean Better Call Saul's really good. I watched it
good.
myself. Like it's really good, but like you know, like it used the formula that only works if the source material is really good.
True. I think the best moment of Better Call Saul was like one throwaway line, and I feel like everyone in the world had already understood this from like while watching Breaking Bad, but it's like where Saul gets his name, Saul Goodman, and it's when he says, "Saul Goodman," and that fucking blew my mind for a minute there, because that never clicked for me while watching all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad. So that was a really strong moment. Yeah, there were a lot of good series this year, but I didn't watch too many, so that's what I'm going to go with.
So Daredevil and Better Call Saul.
Daredevil, Better Call Saul, John Oliver.
John Oliver, yeah.
Now about John Oliver, I love him to death. He was great in the Community, but his talk show, it kind of just paints everything black and white.
True.
And generalizes a whole bunch of interviews, and he really doesn't understand the American economy like at all.
Very true.
But besides that, pretty good stuff.
I would never recommend. I would never recommend Last Week Tonight as your only news source. But
well, it's fine as a news source. I just wouldn't. I would take everything
with a grain of salt. Yeah.
With a very heavy grain of salt, because I mean he's an Englishman who didn't even grow up in America and doesn't understand a lot of these politics. He just likes poking fun at them.
And with that said, he's 100% right about the penny, which was the last thing I think.
Oh yeah, well of course. I mean people have been talking about that for years, but I don't know why. We got to keep our penny farmers in business. I think that's what they call them.
Yeah, that's what I call them.
But no, I mean, it's really entertaining, like, don't get me wrong, but, like, a lot of times I'm like, I hope people don't take this literally.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, agreed.
But, which they always do. But, that's the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
No changing that. What about your worst?
Worst TV show I watched this year?
You brought it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a 2-part answer to this. It's a great show in my opinion. Great show, but the fan base ruined part of The Walking Dead this year. Which I'm not gonna spoil too much because it's a really, really spoilerable thing. But there is a moment where not everyone is sure what happens. And within 5 minutes, it's trending on Twitter, and people are throwing shit out there, and it becomes this huge thing that it really shouldn't be. And most crazy bullshit theories ended up being right, and so those people were completely validated in their craziness. So it made me upset. Like. It'd be like if at the end of Empire Strikes Back, people were like, no, writing 30-page essays on why Darth Vader actually isn't Luke's father. It was a lie what they showed us. And then at the beginning of Return of the Jedi, they're on fucking Maury, and they're like, no, you're not the father. And so those people, and everyone knows they're crazy, but now suddenly they're validated. So that was kind of bullshit. The other worst show, without going into like televangelist or crap like that.
Well, I don't think you'd actually sit down and watch the season.
Well, no. No, but in the hospital, that shit always comes on like first thing. Yeah. And so, like, I would wake up at 6 and this guy would be yelling at me to repent. I'd be like, whoa. And it got really meta where he's like, repent or you will die, and like the doctors are standing over me right now. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. The other worst series. Fuck, man. The thing is, it's too easy, but there's so much that you could just say. I'm gonna go with Pawn Stars.
Oh, yep.
That shit gets me so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that shit makes me I remember season 1 when that show came on, and it was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, like historical look at items. And now I don't know if you've ever caught an episode, but there are a few on that I just saw, and it's like a kind of soap opera now, where like half of it is the selling stuff and half of it is like drama going on in the break room. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, welcome to those shows in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's so awful show, fantastic to catch a few minutes of and laugh your ass off. All right, TV series, Sterling, what you got?
Ooh, well, I actually never watched television series.
Ooh.
Well,
when they come on.
10 years later, though, he's all over that shit.
Like television shows, as in not cartoons. Well, I guess I
go ahead and say Rick and Morty.
Put cartoons. Yeah, I'm gonna say Rick and Morty as my bestie. That did that come out in 2015? Like the second season? I think.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
One of the most smartest cartoons I've seen in like the past
week.
5 years at least.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now, here's a question, Sterling. Have you seen Dan Harmon's sitcom?
Is that a cartoon as well?
No, it's
then no.
It's with Joel McHale and Donald Glover and
Donald Glover's great.
Let's see. Oh crap!
Chevy Chase is in it.
Chevy Chase. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it's really good, and a lot of this like it's a take on the sitcom, but it's instead of like a household, it's at a community college, and it's pretty good. I have all the seasons on DVD.
I have heard good things. The girlfriend and I are gonna watch it all at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that it's all out, you can just go right through it. It's great. You didn't have to wait 8 years like I did.
I could go all through it, but like my girlfriend and I started watching Game of Thrones back before school started, and we're like, we're gonna go through it all, and we're on season 3 now, and it's been 6 months, 7 months, 7 months actually. So it will be a process.
Other than that, Rick and Morty. I think that's about it, because for shows I don't really watch anything that comes on television that isn't a really good thing, although after watching some recent Hannibal movies I've gotten all the series to the TV show Hannibal, and I might be doing something with that in the near future. But
alright.
As for right now, oh geez.
Look forward.
I just have it in my downloads folder.
Something in the future. Look forward to that, all 7 viewers.
And now, as for worse, I've not really been all that much into a lot of shows, but I'm gonna say that as it's been going on, it's been going downhill with some funny ups here and there. But I'm just gonna say Saturday Night Live has not been all that great in its later years.
That's for sure.
Real
hardline stance on that one.
To chime in on that, because I chime in on everything. The only thing that I probably laughed at this season was that Star Wars action figures commercial.
Yeah.
That was
I didn't see it.
That was the only legitimately funny thing that I laughed about from them the whole freaking
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
Not even any of the political ones. I mean, maybe actually physically laugh.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm saying, oh, that's statistically funny. You know.
Yeah. But yeah,
Shit.
like
I haven't seen the action figure thing, but I can think of two segments in the past year that made me laugh, and that was the Star Wars auditions. Made me laugh a little, just a little. But then there was the like how to get through Thanksgiving dinner with like all your racist family members, and it turned into like a "Hello" by Adele thing. I didn't give a shit about that part, and that was supposed to be the funny part. But just that the family being super racist, I fucking loved it. That part really got me.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what ruined a lot of skits this year for them, is because they just put a very out of tune or very out of sync music number in there, and that's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
But no, I put the Star Wars commercial in the Skype chat if you want to watch
Fantastic.
it. While we're all talking about other things.
I will watch it after because I'm a professional. No, I'm not. I am the least professional one here. I'm talking into a $15 microphone. It's probably editor here is gonna have to fix all the blowouts that are probably happening when I breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, man, Saturday Night Live used to be like
Oh, it used to be
a
so
get
good.
together every Saturday night.
Yeah, I remember that. And it wasn't even
And-
that long ago either, too.
Yeah.
Like it used like 20 years ago it was obviously, but I remember like 5-6 years ago being like, oh shit, Saturday Night Live's on in half an hour.
Yeah, you gotta stop everything and watch.
Oh god.
But yeah, I hope it gets better.
Mhm.
But
It's not looking good for
Doesn't
season
look-
41.
yeah.
Man, this show really gets good, but then it starts to take a downhill climb starting in season 42.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Who would have guessed? That magic number 26 though.
They really jumped the shark at around 39, I felt.
So yeah, what about you, Josiah? What about the shows that you've watched? That were your favorite?
Well, best show, Kamen Rider Deno. Right.
Now, that was made back in 2007.
Oh, okay.
Best actual series up to the premiered in 2015. Let's see. I don't want to say Rick and Morty, 'cause I don't want to be a damn copycat.
It's justified though. It's a pretty damn
it's
good
super
show.
justified and it's super right. No, actually, no. The newest season of South Park.
Oh yeah. I caught a few episodes, and then after I kept hearing how this season's bringing it way back, I decided to just stop and watch it all at the end.
Yeah.
So, good things?
Great things.
Fantastic.
The best things. Let's see here. And things that didn't do so well.
Bated breath.
Oh, probably everything that ABC Family and the CW put out.
Oh man,
Like,
that reminds me. So.
Oh, didn't they redo aren't they redoing Seventh Heaven or something bullshit like
Oh,
that?
probably.
I don't even
When I was in the hospital and like falling into an existential crisis, depression, I watched like 9 Hallmark movies in a row.
Oh my gosh.
And this was like November 1st, and they were like
Wait, are you talking about Hallmark or Lifetime?
Hallmark.
Oh my.
And so it was like the beginning of November, and they were all about Santa.
Yeah.
One was Santa Claus is just like a dude in charge of like a warehouse, and he's getting married. And so now this girl who's like a nobody has to learn how to be Mrs. Claus. It was pretty fucking bad.
Hey, Tim Allen already did that one.
Huh?
I said Tim Allen already did that one.
Yeah, Santa Claus 2, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, my friend was playing Vermintide the other day, and he plays the elf, and I happened to find a list of the 20 most badass elves ever, like in any fiction, whatever. Like Drist is on there from D&D. Number 13 was Bernard from Santa Claus. I fucking lost my
Oh no! The actual worst show from 2015 is Brickleberry.
The Tosh one? That's Daniel Tosh, right?
What?
Brickleberry's Daniel Tosh, right? I think so.
I'm not too sure.
I'm pretty sure.
All I remember is that it's terrible.
It's with like the little bear, right?
Yeah. It has Tosh in it.
Yeah,
I don't
it is
know why
Tosh.
Tosh is in it.
He's
not writing it.
He's the creator, I think. He voices the bear, I'm pretty damn sure, too.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
That's
I watched like the
unfortunate.
first 3 episodes, and then I'm like, no, I'm alright.
Well, that sucks.
It's terrible for what it should have been.
The product is bad. The intended product is worse.
No, see, it's like, oh man, look at these high quality. It's like making soup, okay? It's like, oh man, look at this high quality meat and all these organic, homegrown vegetables, It's like, there's no way I couldn't make a good soup with this. And then you put someone from our generation who's never cooked a day in their life, and they're the one that you get to prepare the soup.
Yep.
And then it comes out, and you're like, no, I'll just go run up and get some Taco Bell, thanks. Because this isn't even edible.
That's the joke. Is that a joke?
No,
is that your comparison, or is that a joke in the show?
No, that's the comparison.
Okay.
If that was a joke in the show, then it'd be doing much better.
Really?
If they had me to write all these zingers, man, oh man, people would be lining up for days.
Oh man.
No.
Okay, so Brickleberry sucks.
Besides that, also the new season of Steven Universe is kind of disappointing.
Never watched that actually.
I watched the first 5.
And then he realized it's new.
A long time ago, like
the first season.
When the first season was barely getting started, I watched like the one with the fry suit or whatever that gets like, mutated, and I thought that was like the best thing I've ever seen. So then, like barely like 2 or 3 months ago, I tried watching the first 5, and I just couldn't do it.
No, that stuff isn't that bad. Like I can get through that stuff. It's this new season that just kind of it's kind of forced. And it's kind of preachy. Then it's really preachy, and then it's like this is supposed to be a cartoon or at least a good TV show.
Yeah.
But no, that was also something that I was really looking forward to. To kind of.
That sucks.
I also do hear that if I were to watch the last episode of the first season, that I should be golden. But I don't know. I don't really. Those first 5 episodes are just kind of.
What's the one at like a lake cabin?
Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I've heard that's good too.
That's much better.
Okay.
That is like, they're ending it in the next season, and it's going to be great. It's going to be closure, and it didn't ruin after the giant reveal, just like Steven Universe did.
So I saw like apparently it's all about Illuminati bullshit, and I'm like, I'm super down with this, actually.
Yes and no. But I don't want to spoil anything because that's like heavy spoilers.
I just saw like
especially because it's like all the first season builds up to one giant thing, and it's so great. And then the second season still keeps you hooked, and that's the best.
Okay.
Is that they built it for just the one season to sell it, to get it on the air, and then the second season didn't stink. But thankfully, or not so thankfully, they actually realized that they're running out of ideas, and so they're going to end it in the third season, which is a great.
That is
smart
always
idea.
the best when shows are like at the top and like, okay, we're done. Instead of
like, hey.
Saturday Night Live or The Simpsons, where it's
Saturday Night Live
God.
can work if you have good writers.
Yeah, that's true.
You just have to you got to hire new writers every like 3 seasons.
But
they get wore
The
out.
Simpsons is inexcusable at this point.
Well, that's because Matt Groening left the reins in Fox's hands.
Always a great decision. They're always well known for their handling of TV shows.
So, as we get on with our shows, why don't we move on to movies? Oh, geez. Why don't you go first? Me.
Oh, fucking.
Oh, jeez.
Throwing
twist.
yourself underneath the bus.
Well, I watched 5 movies at the theater, and I'll count them down to what I think are like the good to the best.
Alright.
So, Ant-Man, Inside Out, Avengers Age of Ultron, Jurassic World, Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Oh, but what? A new challenge? Mad Max Fury Road? Oh, jeez. Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road. I've watched, that's like the only movie I've ever watched like more than 3 times.
Wow.
At the theater, and all with different people.
Yeah, I did the same for Star Wars.
I didn't need to watch it a second time, but I still think that was pretty great for what it did. But Mad Max Fury Road is my best action movie I've ever seen. Even though I still like Mad Max, the first one, more than this one. For story-wise, but other than that, the Fury Road, the visuals, the cinematography, the choreography, everything.
It's amazing. It's fucking fantastic.
The first time I watched it, I couldn't believe my eyes.
The moment for me in that is when you see Guitar Guy, and that's like you're like, what is this?
Oh, the dude warrior.
Yeah, you're like, what is going on? And then you see Guitar Guy, and like, oh, nothing's going to make sense. It's just going to be amazing.
Yeah. Now that goes in point in which around that time I was watching, going through all of the Fist of the North Star stuff. And I was just like, oh hey, why don't I just go through all of that? And when Mad Max Fury Road came out, I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's the perfect segue.
But yeah. But like the next like 3 viewings of it, like it still has like I feed off of the amazement of others, so like I always bring a different person to it. And I was just like, oh yeah, you like this, don't you?
Yeah, that's always the greatest.
And yeah, like I was kind of like about the story a bit of it after like a few viewings of it, but like after a while and to let it set in, like all it wanted to do was what it did,
and it did it perfectly
great for me. Yep.
Alright.
And yeah, Inside Out, I'm gonna go from top to bottom. If anybody wants to, have anybody seen Inside Out?
I have.
You
yes.
have? Alright. What did you think about it?
I thought the beginning was great. The ending was great. The middle, Act 2, I think, kind of slows it down a bit too much. Like when you're going through Imagination Land or whatever, it's a bit slow, and I'm not a huge fan of that part. But really strong setup. Some really good jokes in there, especially with like when they take you inside the minds of adults and a dog at the end, which is one of the best quick gag jokes in a Pixar movie. Overall, really good. I think for a while there it was like rated as the 5th best movie of all time on IMDb. I'm not there on it at all.
Yeah.
But really solid movie.
It's the best 7 out of 10 movie I've ever seen.
I would say that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's really good, but it's nothing to be like in 5 years you're like, holy shit, you have to see Inside Out.
Well, I'm trying to not. Well, no, I am. I'm not petting the new Pixar. For their crap. They're just reselling the old Pixar in a new form, and it's not original, and it's not as groundbreaking as the original.
After a while, you just kind of went.
Yeah, after season 1, but I did, the season 1.
Where does season 1 end?
Season 2 just basically it's not cutting for me. Even Brave wasn't that.
Brave wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's why I said when Brave started, that's when it.
Brave. The only reason I liked Brave is because I'm a fucking redhead, and so I'm all about that. Like the second they're like, "Yo, she has red hair and has a super thick Scottish accent," I was sold. But that's like the only good part.
Not all the characters retain very well.
Yeah.
During the whole movie.
That's very true.
Which if you're getting voice actors, it's not like they're live action.
Yeah.
It's not like you're using them for their looks. And then you accept what responsibility comes with that. You're specifically getting them for how well they can do a Scottish accent. And you have unlimited cuts because it's just talking. You think that it would be put together a little bit better.
You're right.
And I know I'm nitpicking, but from someone who's half of his family is Scottish, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Especially when half the people who went to the theater thought it was about Ireland. I'm not even joking. I bet on your life that at least 4 out of 10 people thought that was Ireland.
That going with the strongest 7 out of 10, I would say that is not only the beginning of bad Pixar, but it is probably like their most average movie. Like
Cars 2.
No,
was the
Cars
beginning of
2.
bad
Cars
Pixar.
2. Oh, I forgot Cars 2 even came out before Brave. Cars 2 is the
You
worst.
wiped your memory.
Cars 2 is an average. Cars 2 is disgusting, and then Brave.
Cars 3 is coming out. They greenlit Cars 3. That's how much they want to sell your kids those crappy little Chinese toys. Is that there's a Cars 3 already in the works.
So you're super down on Pixar. What do you think of Finding Dory? Do you have any care at all?
It's the new hope. It's the only hope. Because I like it. I liked Monsters University. I actually liked Monsters University.
Yeah, me too.
That was the best one out of season 2 so far.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Toy Story 3 is in season 1, correct?
It is because it's actually just Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Rewrapped as a different present. If you look like from a camera angle and from like an aesthetic point, it's exactly Toy Story 2, just with different events, but everything is basically the same conceptually.
Yeah. You'll be saying that. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Go
no,
ahead.
it's about a movie you haven't seen yet.
Is it Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Because we didn't ask for that. We did not ask for Toy Story 4. That was also greenlit. I'm actually... No, the next hope is Incredibles 2. I have really high hopes for that.
That's
and I hope they don't crush me.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2 has
and the only reason I have the highest hopes for that is because it's been so long that they have plenty of ideas to flush out about it. Like, they had plenty of time to think about it, mull around while they were working on other projects. And so usually, yeah.
I don't know if they've said anything about this. I haven't been following it, but I want Incredibles 2 to be like 10 years later. I want
be it canon. You want it to be canon timeline.
I want
with real time.
I would be fine with this, like a Star Wars time jump of the camera pans up, big Mr. Incredible has like a grayish beard, and he's
Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 5.
That shows up at the end without saying nothing.
Oh my god, I would fucking love.
My God.
Mr. Incredible just has a small Big Boss beard going. And, oh man, I would love a big time. Jack's like a moody teen.
He was 1 year old in the, or what, 2 years old?
Something like that.
Like he'd be like 11 or 12 years old.
That's when it starts.
Yeah. He's just an asshole. I would fucking love. He's Kylo.
Alright,
oh shit! It's gonna. That one and Finding Dory have the are the new torchbearers. Start season 3.
Yeah. Inside Out was a fun little differentiation of the formula, but
it was a kids movie. It was a kids movie. It was the first kids movie, specifically for kids.
Yeah.
It didn't go as far as it needed to be, but where it went, it was fairly okay. Ant-Man was pretty okay as well.
Way better than I thought it would be going into the theater.
Yeah. I actually laughed at the parts where I'm supposed to laugh at,
and not the ones where you're not. That's a good sign for a Marvel movie, because they've had some bad moments with that.
It's better than Spider-Man 2.
Oh god, what?
Yeah.
I remember at the very beginning, the Baskin Robbins jump cut fucking made me lose my shit. At the beginning, he's just like, "Don't worry, I have a master's degree in engineering. I'll be fine." Straight jump cut to him wearing a pink Baskin Robbins shirt, scooping ice cream. Oh god, it's so good.
With Ant-Man, it's not really a superhero movie as much as it is a heist movie. And if you go into it wanting a superhero movie, you might get a little bit disappointed, but if you go into it wanting a criminal type of thing, then you'll be fine and dandy.
I very much appreciated the change in formula, I guess, of where... Well, I mean, this guy straight up starts out in jail, and so that was it was a good twist on it. And also, Thomas the Tank Engine makes the greatest cameo in Marvel history. Screw all the Stan Lee cameos. It's Thomas the Tank Engine to save the day. It's fucking fantastic.
And then, after that, Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, as a person who's almost spun out and dried out on Avengers stuff, Age of Ultron was pretty much alright. Not as good as the first Avengers, but pretty fine because Ultron is my boy, my big boy. But how he was handled was a little bit... But
I think James Spader did a fantastic job. Aside from that, I think Ultron was underplayed a bit. But overall, it was an okay movie. Not as good... It's in the season 2 of Marvel.
Yes, exactly.
Except they actually fucking... They straight up go phase 2. Here, this is phase 2.
That's what it is. It's phases. That's what they call it.
It's all right. Is all I can really say about it.
What I didn't extremely like about it was that it kind of went a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And went too far as to show, oh, hey, look at the next movies that are going to come out now. Like,
I remember what I said to my friend walking out of the theater. That felt like the longest movie ever that needed to be 2 hours longer. It felt like there wasn't, like, it felt like they didn't finish what they were trying to do. It felt like there was a lot more in the middle that needed to be done, and like we jumped from point to point without the in between at points. But oh my god, it felt like it was 4 hours long already. When you look at, shit was weird. It's a weird experience. At this point, the Avengers movies are mostly, the Avengers / mainline superhero movies are mostly keeping me on, barring Civil War. I'm super hyped for Civil War, but Tony Stark's / Robert Downey Jr.'s line delivery is like the only thing that I would rewatch one of these movies for at this point. Like, in the hospital, they had like 3 movies on the TV, and like, so I saw Avengers like 9 times. And like Robert Downey Jr., I know it's been said time and time again, but he fucking nails that role. And I can see why he's so fucking tired of it. Good lord. But, oh god, the fucking Robert Downey Jr. line in the trailer and how it has been switched out for Traitor is fantastic. And Sterling knows what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Yep. Josiah will know by tomorrow. The Civil War trailer wins 4th best trailer of the year for me. It's pretty solid.
And then after that, finishing off with Jurassic World, I had a fun time. It was like watching Jurassic Park all over again, except with more dinosaurs and stuff like that.
Touchscreens. So many touchscreens.
Slightly and shittier holograms. Kids.
I don't know. I think these kids were actually a little bit smarter.
Oh no, they were smarter, but one was a huge shit.
Well, the little kid was like, "Hey, you're not paying attention to me. Divorce." That's literally like, it's like, why aren't you paying attention to me? I need constant attention.
That was the fucking
I know you
weirdest ending too. They never mentioned divorce again. If you notice, at the end of the movie, the mom and dad go and get their kids and hug, and they're just like embracing each other over their children, and it's like a soft undertone of these people don't love each other anymore.
No, see, that's the thing. Like, how do you keep your parents together? Almost get eaten by dinosaurs.
Save the day. Actually, don't save the day.
You don't even need a lawyer.
The save the day was the fucking... Okay. 95% of the way through that movie, I was ready to walk out of there, tell my friends, yo, Jurassic World's great. It's fantastic. And then the biggest dino ex machina in the world happens. And I was so fucking pissed off because they preface that Deus Ex Machina with, yo, T-Rex versus whatever the fuck this thing's called, Indominus Rex. They're fighting, and it's awesome. They're having a huge battle. It's amazing. The T-Rex from Jurassic Park 1 is getting her shit kicked in, but then she brings it back. There's footsies going on. Like, the Indominus Rex does his super, and then the Blue comes in and they team up. Like, they call them the Marvel Tag Team, and then they have a standoff, and they stare at each other, and Blue lets out his little classic Velociraptor noise, and the T-Rex roars, and the Indominus Rex gets his shit eaten by the sideline, and it's fucking infuriating to me.
John Cena pops out of the ocean.
Out of nowhere. Dun, 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 and it's bullshit. I hated it. Overall, great movie with a really good nostalgia factor. It didn't go overboard on the Jurassic Park 1 references, which was something I was always afraid of. but that ending really ticked me off.
Uh-huh. And overall, with Mad Max being my favorite out of the bunch, and Inside Out being a 7 out of 10, I'd say that at the end of it all, pretty good 8s
Yep.
out of 10s.
Yeah, I would say Mad Max
You're not
is.
moving. You're not budging.
I would say Mad Max is like a 9.5, approaching a 10. It's that movie's amazing.
No, I give it a 9 out of 10. I mean, I saw it 3 times in theaters, and unfortunately, it's not going to be the top of my list.
Neither for me.
But spoiler. But the thing about it is that it's really great the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time it kind of loses luster. But it's still a good movie. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like it's one of those films that really takes you for a ride the first time.
Yeah.
The hardest, and it's really hard. The rewatchability isn't very.
Yeah.
Great
I feel
with
like
the movie.
it's quite literally a 2-hour car ride, but it's the best car ride in maybe cinema history. It's bar none the best car chase movie ever, because that's all it is. And it's got a really weird opening, good opening, but weird opening, and it just segues into the best thing about it is its imagery, and the visual effects are fantastic, amazing, but in my opinion the coolest part is just looking in the back and going, oh, that emblem's a fucking steering wheel, and oh, that they're worshipping diesel, they're spraying chrome, like all the rad shit that you probably noticed the first time but maybe not, or maybe it just hits you later that, oh, like, and one of my favorite throwaway lines in the movie is she is heading to Gas Town to get gasoline and Bullet Farm to get ammunition. It's like, wow, you guys really don't know how to name anything in this, you know?
No, see, the thing is that was actually foreshadowing for Fallout 4.
Fuck, the fact that the first place you go to is named Sanctuary, and it's like, god damn it. Alright, I assume we're saving games for last, but any other movies?
I haven't gotten to my worst.
Oh, yes. Has anyone here seen Fantastic Four? Because I have not.
No. I'm not.
Okay, so Fantastic Four is the unspoken number 1 on all of our lists. But with that aside,
I actually have. Let me see. Okay, let me see here. 4 movies, and one of them I actually liked, but I'm gonna say it's not really that great. Which I'll start off with, which is Paul Blart.
Oh my god, why the I watched that too!
I actually really liked Paul Blart Mall Cop 1. It's a funny movie, and then this one is kind of a rehash, but it was fun as well, but it was still kind of like... I actually laughed out loud at 2 scenes, but after that I was like, okay, this is a rehash. Alright. Next, Terminator Genesis.
Oh, really?
I don't know. There was too much questionable dialogue in there that was questionable. The time thing was kind of redunculous more than the previous films.
That's a damn line.
Yeah, it is. And I'm gonna blame the trailers for souring the taste of the reveals in that sense.
Yeah.
You kind of
know what the twist is.
Everything is by just that first trailer.
And it sucks because they didn't need to do that. Like, the trailer had me when Schwarzenegger said, "I'll be back." Like, I was like, oh shit, they got him to say those words again? Fuck it, I'm going.
That's what you get for trusting a damn thing.
And then,
What have I told you time and time again?
and then the next two movies are the worst. Well, I'm gonna give leeway to one of them, and that's Minions.
I'm not even... Wow.
A fairly okay story. Just wow. Like, really, you're gonna make a movie about these things? All right. Okay. It's, I don't know. It's very not that. It's like if Planet Sheen was a movie, and that was that.
So you mean the best movie of 2015?
You got them mixed up.
Yeah.
You're reading your sheet upside down.
But the worst movie. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Pixel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that is the worst movie.
I can't. The spirit of that movie is dead. Like,
It was never alive.
everything in that has almost jaded reactions and acting in it of all time, and I'm like, what? Did you make this movie because you had to go through it or something? Like, kind of like that. And wow, was it not good? It was actually, it was not good. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. So,
any movies of yours?
okay, best movies. I'm gonna give a few here. I also have Ant-Man in my top up there. I thought it was a surprisingly good film.
Yep.
Number 2, I'll just do a few because a lot of them we already talked about. But number 2, I have The Martian, the Matt Damon stuck on Mars one. That movie was actually, I went into it expecting a good movie, but not like a movie I'd be talking about right now. There were some. I think what it was about that movie was the fact that it was much more sciencey than I was expecting. Like, and Matt Damon's delivery on a lot of the science lines are fucking amazing. Like, I think there's one line early in the movie where he goes, "So to survive, I have to grow 36 potatoes on average a week for 4 years on a planet that's nothing has ever grown on. In other words, I have to science the shit out of this." And it's fantastic. There's another scene way later in the movie where he explains how by maritime law, which all planets are technically under by the Treaty of 1993, he has to go to this other point on Mars to take the other escape vessel to get off Mars. And because it's under maritime law and he is taking that ship over, he's a pirate. And then it cuts to like NASA headquarters, and the person's like, "How's he doing?" And they're like, "He's doing good. He's got plants growing." And he goes, "I know, but how is he actually doing?" And the like communicator looks up and goes, "Well, he wants us to call him Captain Longbeard now." Overall, a surprisingly funny movie. A movie that I don't know. I don't really follow the Oscars or the award things or anything. But if he doesn't get a Best Actor nomination for a movie which he almost single-handedly carries through the whole goddamn thing, it would be a shame. Fantastic film overall. And number 1, after seeing it 3 times, you already probably know what I'm going to say, but Star Wars The Force Awakens was everything I hoped it was. Pat talked about this on the Super Best Friend cast, but it's something I did as well right beforehand. I fucking went through all the prequels and Plinkett reviews before I went. And meticulously memorized like all the really good points Red Letter Media makes in their Plinkett reviews of the prequels, and kept an eye out for all of them. And I didn't see a single goddamn thing. And I thought to myself, I might be overhyped. Maybe I'm missing them. And I went and saw it again and again. And never once did I notice bullshit like I did in the prequels. Like, it takes 3 minutes from the time you press play on Phantom Menace to go, what the fuck is that? And within 3 minutes of Force Awakens, you're fucking sold on a whole brand new character. It's amazing. And without spoiling much, BB-8, in my opinion, steals the show, becomes the best robot droid in science fiction, completely replaces R2-D2 and C-3PO in my list of best droids. I have 4 pairs of BB-8 socks now. If I listed the top 5 moments in that entire movie, 3 of them are just about BB-8. He is amazing. We will talk in the spoiler cast. We'll talk about the things he actually does that are amazing. But at this point, man, fuck R2. Fuck the only thing R2-D2 is good for now is like bouncing around left to right on those feet, which makes the funny noise. It's fucking great. BB-8's fantastic. There are a few legitimate complaints that I hear other people making about the film that I personally don't mind, so they don't come into effect for me, but I get it if other people have those complaints, and we can talk about this all more later. But yeah, so Star Wars Force Awakens takes movie of the year, which I wasn't actually expecting. I was expecting the hype to not live up, but it very much did. Worst movie that I saw was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I
think you got your movie list backwards as well.
I didn't watch Fantastic Four, which I'm sure would be above Paul Blart. I didn't watch Pixels, but I plan to with friends very soon.
Yeah, with
yes.
friends, yeah.
Oh, we friends and I get together all the time, like 4 or 5 of us, and just we watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a few months ago.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh god, that's such a shit show. But did that come out this year? No, that was last year. Oh yeah, that was over a year ago. Otherwise, that would be up there. On pure principle, I kind of want to say Crimson Peak because it lied to me. The movie,
yeah, that was a big.
The movie it gave us was not bad, but it wasn't a bad movie. But it told us through trailers that it was going to make me shit my pants.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't escape it. Like I was watching YouTube, and like for a solid month, they had ads upon ads upon ads on just YouTube alone, making it almost impossible. Like avoid it. They had it on Hulu. They had it on anything that you can connect to. They had at least 2 ads back to back at some point.
Yeah.
And like the thing was,
scary Guillermo del Toro ghost design is awesome, and you're gonna be scared. And there's Loki in it. Loki's gonna scare you like, good, and then you go and see it, and it's like kind of a romance movie.
And you're like, no. Yeah. I want good horror again. I want it
and it also gets bonus points for having the coolest movie poster aside from Star Wars. It looks like a fucking Goosebumps like cover with that red and blue. I can't even describe that art style, but it's amazing.
All of the media for that movie was pointing towards the best horror film that we've seen in a decade. You know, like that's everything it was pointing to. And nope, it was. Now don't get me wrong. It's not as bad as The Lady in the Water, But you know how Lady in the Water is like really hyped up, you know, and you're like, oh man, Shyamalan's gonna bring it back with this one. You know, the last couple were pretty bad, but this one, oh man, how can he mess up this one? And all the media was like, oh man, it's like a thriller, and oh man, there's like scary elements, and this and that, and there was none of that. And even though, you know, obviously Crimson Peak is a much better film than what Lady in the Water turned out to be, that's sort of the same like story, like following up.
Yeah.
But and I liked the Crimson Peak trailers because they didn't share any spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
Know? But it was in the worst way.
Yeah. That's also something Star Wars did super good, which was going into the movie, I had no fucking idea what was going to happen.
Well, you had your own ideas.
Well, no, you're right. I had my ideas, but like I go into most movies, like Martian or any other movie I saw in theaters this year, really, I know what's going to happen. They're going to do it interesting ways that I want to see, but like, I had no idea where Star Wars was going to take me. And
no one went into Martian saying, "Oh man, I wonder if he makes it out alive." That's like going into Avengers and being like, "Oh man, I hope they don't lose."
Oh man. But so yeah, good year for movies. A better year for things to come, really. I think most movies that came out this year that were really good were more indicative of like, yo, good movies are coming out soon. Like Avengers Age of Ultron was not as good as it was a trailer for Infinity War.
Basically.
Star Wars is like fucking setting up an amazing next two movies, hopefully. Pixar has movies coming out that hopefully will dig it out of season 2.
Into season 3.
Season 3 is gonna make a comeback. It's digging itself out of the hole. Yeah.
Oh yeah. One other thing about Pixar, just this little rabbit here. Don't mean that.
No, I'm done.
But I always do. Is The Good Dinosaur. What the hell happened with that?
I have not. Have you, Josiah?
I have not.
No, I have not, because it hasn't appeared at the place where I tried to get Kamen Rider. But because I'm not gonna pay money to go see that film. From what I hear from all my critics that I follow, you know, my not hired as critics, but critics on their own merit, critics, you know, they have told me it's just utter flack.
Oh, that's too bad.
Nope. It's nothing good. The animation is really derpy for Pixar. Like, especially, like, it's basically like, you know how we used to have Legos? Legos are great for everyone, you know? Like, even now you can play with Legos, you know, and basically take up a whole afternoon, you know? Like, you would instantly, you know, be able to amuse yourself and anyone else of any age in the room, basically, as long as they, you know, have had Legos before. But, no, if Season 1 was Legos, this one was Duplos. If you're familiar with Duplos, it's the toddler version of Legos, in which you get like 6 pieces, and they're like the size of your hand, and it's just made to stack. You can't entertain yourself in new and exciting ways based on your imagination. No, it's dead set. It knows what it's doing, and it does it marginally
It's Lincoln
well.
Logs?
No, because Lincoln Logs is cowboys and Indians. and I'm very happy about the new westerns coming out, like the resurgence of westerns.
What's the Leonardo DiCaprio? It's not exactly a western, but it looks like it kind of shot like it.
You mean
Django?
No. You mean Django Unchained?
The Virgin? It's not out yet.
What?
Yeah.
I know
the one that they're
about,
saying DiCaprio might finally win an Oscar for.
Oh, the one with the bear?
Yeah.
Where he has sex with a bear? Have you seen the memes on that one where it's like, you know, it shows him and the bear, and then it shows the bear at the Oscars getting the Oscar?
You are in for a treat with some memes, by the way. If there's one thing I didn't expect from Star Wars, was it to spawn the greatest meme of the year.
Really? You didn't expect Star Wars?
Not like this.
The pre-internet, wildfire. The thing that brought the internet almost into existence. To not be hoisted on a high pedestal when it's done right.
Not like this. You'll. Oh shit.
No, I've already seen some
ones?
of them, and I've seen some that have spoilers, but not like spoilers that would ruin the whole
which
movie
ones
for
have you
me.
seen?
But the fact that like Luke doesn't talk, and all the traitor
Yes,
ones.
those are the ones I'm talking about.
6 bits. Yeah, the 6 bits. Yeah, that doesn't ruin the movie.
Traitor,
if I see it, that's just gonna hype me up more for it.
The traitor meme.
I've seen pieces of the scene.
I don't think we have this section, but traitor meme, greatest meme of 2015, greatest meme of the decade. Fucking fan.
Now the decade's pretty strong, man, because memes have only been around for about 12, 15 years. Real memes.
It is. It will not have the staying power, but in terms of pure strength, when you first see some of them, oh, it's strong. Like, I clicked on a webpage and there was the picture of him and it said top 10 anime sword battles.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty. Sterling and I had some meme competition.
Oh god, it's solid. Okay, Traitor is my new favorite Star Wars character. I can't even. It goes BB-8, but I don't know if you can count him. TR-8R, and then Poe Dameron. I'm fully on board with the Finn and Poe are a gay bro couple. It is the only time I have been like, yeah, Tumblr got it right. Like, there was a picture of Finn, Rey, and Poe, and Finn's like, this is my boyfriend Finn, and this is his boyfriend Poe, and that shit's fantastic. They are the best couple. God, they're just the. If Netflix announces a series, if Disney pushes it, and Netflix is like, yo, Finn and Poe just broing it up between the two movies, fantastic. 10 out of 10. Instantly watching it all.
So, Josiah, what about
your top movies?
Picks?
Best
movies.
Best movies.
Movies. Okay, I'm gonna do the top 5 as Mr. Silver did earlier, and it's going to start with Jurassic Park.
All right.
It was pretty good. We're gonna go up to Mad Max, of course, and then we're gonna go to The Martian, and then I'm probably saving the second one for Star Wars because I already know it's gonna be in the top 5. There's no debating it. I'm not stupid, I don't know. The Hateful Eight just came out this weekend too, but I'm gonna count that as 2016.
I've heard that.
So,
I've heard it's all right. I haven't heard amazing things about it from anyone.
It just came out, and with all the Star Wars hype,
very true.
Follow that up. Which comes to my number 1, which is actually almost overshadowed completely
Alvin
by
and the
Star
Chipmunks.
No.
Paul Blart.
3. No. No, it is actually Creed.
Oh, really?
6. Creed, oh my gosh,
Good.
is it the best? It's like Rocky 1, but done so much
You have
better.
no idea how happy that makes me, because I haven't seen it yet, but it's by far the movie I'm most excited to go see right now.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'll touch on some undertones here that were very important and very concerning of me going in to see this film. Was that you know how they always try and make everything new and hip, and try and update it. They did that flawlessly in this movie, in which they updated it and they made it more of the culture now, but they did not rely on that. They did not heavily push that. That was just something in the ambiance. That was just something you noticed, And oh my gosh, you know how in every Rocky movie that Sylvester Stallone actually produces and writes on. You can tell because he has one of those famous speeches in it, you know?
Yeah.
This one, oh my gosh, did his speech blow me away. I cried twice during this film. I cried twice. I'm not even joking, like full tears in front of all my other guys from the boxing gym, and they were crying too. Like, it was, oh my gosh. Like, I went to go see this with my boxing friends, all my buddies that go to the same boxing gym as me. Like, we all went to go see it. And man, oh man, like, there's a standing ovation because we were the only ones in the theaters to go see it. We actually rented the entire theater, the small theater, a 60-seat theater to go watch this. And yeah, oh my gosh, like, it was just
that's really good to hear because I'm really excited to go see that.
And the thing is that it just fell off the radar. Like, if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 92 by critics and a 98 by the audience.
Shit! Wow. Yeah, Star Wars just completely decimated it. It's just.
Yeah, like, because Star Wars is coming up and other things came out as well at the time, you know, to distract from it, it just kind of fell off everyone's list. Mm-hmm. You know, like, they didn't push, the marketing wasn't bad, but it wasn't as strong as other things.
I'm gonna go see it, and if I love it, I'm gonna push it. Push it for SummerSlam. Push it real hard.
Because I've been pushing that to every person that I know. Because, damn, it surprised me in the best way, in which it was everything I wanted and then some.
Perfect.
You know, and the film, like the way that they film it and the camera shots and like even the cinematography is flawlessly done. And you could tell that, like, Sylvester Stallone was just like, you know, he was working on this for a long time. Like, you know, I mean, because a lot of people don't realize that he was a bum and he wrote Rocky 1 and, like, offered it to studios on the caveat that he played
he was
Rocky,
in a porno.
And he got turned down. I mean, after several times of him being turned down, you know, because they said, "Oh, we'll buy the script, but we won't, you know, cast you or anything like that." And then the studio they actually picked him up. Oh my gosh, you know, like, instant sensation. And then after that, you know, he got a little money high and, you know, became an action star and this and that, you know, and you know they kind of fell off. But the last Rocky was pretty good. You know, it was good. It wasn't great. You know, it wasn't everything I was looking for and more. It was just about what I expected. But this one, there's no comparing.
So, about boxing movies, did you see Southpaw this year? No.
No, because I heard it was terrible.
I went to go see that in some really small theater in Portland, and I actually really enjoyed it. It has definite problems, but one of the biggest problems to me is the name of the movie is Southpaw. He takes one punch, or he throws one punch from Southpaw in the entire film.
Oh, so he's a switchfoot?
No, he's not. At the end of the movie, he's getting spoilers for semi-bad...
You're not going to spoil a boxing movie for me.
Spoilers for a bad, predictable boxing film. At the end of the movie, he's in the big fight, and he's getting his ass beat, and he has no way to win, so he just says, fuck it, and tries the one thing he didn't try before.
No. Okay. Ipo did the exact same thing. Ipo did the first thing within the first 12 episodes. Ipo is backed into a corner where he can't see out of his left eye, and his right arm is his left arm, you know, he can't jab anymore. He can't see where he's jabbing, and so he switches over to his southpaw and jabs with his right hand and knocks the guy's crap in his face, you know, because his right arm is freaking beef as fuck.
So
and he just slams
this movie is, the only reason it's good is because the acting. Jake Gyllenhaal is really good in it, but otherwise the movie's fucking ridiculous. Like, the reason that big fight at the end is so big is because the other dude killed his wife. And this is the big Las Vegas bout. Neither of them are in jail, but the other one was responsible for killing his wife.
No, but I mean, like I said, no, that's still technically a switchfoot.
Yeah,
you know,
he technically did, but it wasn't one of his main. uses. Like,
Yeah. No, but I mean, I switch foot. I actively switch foot. Like, I will switch stances when I'm boxing. Like, because I can actually do it well. Like, I've trained up and I've taken the punches. I'm learning my mistakes, and, like, risen up, like, so that I can actually use that. And to call it southpaw because of one lucky-ass punch that isn't even, like... That's stupid. That explains why all those movie posters. No, all the movie posters showed him in an orthodox boxing stance.
He's not in Southpaw in the movie posters, and I was like, "This is bullshit." And then it finally explains it because he's not in Southpaw for 98% of the movie. Like, by that metric, the movie should be called Sad Dad. But
oh my god.
70% of the movie is him, like, crying over how shit his life is since that dude killed his wife, and his daughter gets taken away from him, and he was super rich and shit, and now he's living in a one-room apartment.
Back to
Creed. Oh no,
least favorite movie of 2015. And oh man, this one's gonna come out of left field for you guys. Not because it's so surprising, but because you freaking forgot about it. It's Jupiter Ascending.
I never saw it.
God.
You're right. I totally wiped it. I never saw it because I heard it was so bad.
I've seen
it. It is so bad.
Oh my gosh.
It's like Twilight plus Sword of the Matrix plus M. Night Shyamalan.
I will say that Pixels is the worst movie, but I will.
No, because this should have been a good movie. No, this should have been a good movie. This was not like dead from the start. This was like, they made The Matrix. Now The Matrix has its flaws, but it's an enjoyable ride, just to go see a movie. If you could turn your brain off if you want to, Actually, it's easier if you do turn your brain off at the second two movies, but. Jupiter Ascending. No, it is everything wrong with people trying to make sci-fi movies that don't know a thing about good writing or sci-fi.
That's unfortunate.
And so that's why it's a much more upfront, because Pixels, it's trying to reach a demographic that it just insults. But the thing is the gamer demographic has been probed, but it's not like an established thing like sci-fi. Sci-fi, there is very fine, line between good and bad sci-fi. But I mean, gamer movies, that's a risk. Well, it's not a risk to them. They're just trying to make easy money. Let me put it that way. And in which they'll see people will go see it just because it's a game. But no, this was, they tried to make a good movie, and it was just a terrible movie. Yeah. And they had years. They were not working on anything else.
Oh man, that was Mila Kunis and Tatum, right? Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
such potential.
Her screams in the movie are the fakest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's one where she's just like, ah! Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're falling off of the tallest building in the whole city. And you're going, ah! And it's just like, it's a very deep yell for a woman, and she did higher pitch. I don't understand.
I need to see this.
It's like,
oh.
It's like Star Wars, Phantom Menace all over again. It's like, no, you gotta act worse. No, please, act worse.
Speaking of falling scenes, like, did any of you guys see Krampus?
Oof. No, I've yet to see it yet.
Have you, Sterling? Okay, there is keep an eye out for. I mean, you can't miss it, but it is, in my opinion, the worst falling scene I've ever seen. And it might just be because of how it hits you. Like, on its own, it might be fine, but, like, the build-up to the falling scene and then just showing this shot, it's just ridiculous, and it's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, that movie doesn't take itself seriously, though. That's the thing. Like,
it actually kind of did. The trailers made it seem more like a, hey, fuck it, Scary Christmas. Yeah, camping. But once you get in there, it's like they show you these weird Christmas toys that are all fucked up, and you're like, that's super stupid looking, but they're like showing it off and saying, yeah, look how scary it is. And I'll give them credit, one of them is fucking a good design for a monster, but the other ones are just literally the stupidest things ever.
Oh, I hate that when they have really good, like one really good concept for a monster and the rest are just terrible. I'm a big creature fan, and like that's why I hate things like what was it? The found footage of the kaiju.
Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Cloverfield. Yeah, I
did too.
That is the worst. That is cancer.
It's awful.
It's bad camera angles, shaking, bad acting, and you get to see the monster once, and even then it's poorly
And it's
CGI.
kind of it's a good design for the big one, at least I think.
It's a good design, but the way that they present it, it takes you out of the film. It rips you out of the film 10 minutes before it ends.
Ironically,
it's like, why would you ever?
There was a movie this year that is on many people's worst movies of the year list, and many people's actually surprisingly good movies. Found footage, Shyamalan, The Visit. Did any of you guys see it?
Oh yeah, that's right. I've never seen it.
I heard mixed things about that. I heard it wasn't like terrible, but it wasn't what the trailers were trying to like portray it as. It was
what I would say about it, it's not great. It's not a recent Shyamalan. It's the best movie Shyamalan's made in a long ass time. It's probably the best usage of found footage film I've ever seen, because.
Well, that's what I did hear. I heard that it was pretty good as far as like cinematography.
Because not only do they justify it as in this girl's making a documentary, but they use that justification as in she's got a good ass camera. So it's not found footage on a camcorder from 1994 like a lot of the others are, or a security camera. It's a fucking movie camera that she's carrying around. So in that aspect, fantastic, great. It's kind of weird, and it's for a Shyamalan movie. It's actually got a good twist ending. His best twist ending since Sixth Sense. I actually didn't see it coming, and when you rewatch it, there are hints to it, like, hey, this might be weird. This might be a weird thing, but so it does have rewatch value in that sense of, hey, what were the hints to this that are cool? But overall, a solid 6.5, 7, which for Shyamalan is like a fucking holy grail 15 out of 10. Except the little kid actor, the boy actor, fuck that kid.
Yeah, child actors, you can't.
Yeah.
Can't shoot a movie
he fucking
without
raps.
him, and you can't shoot a movie
He
with
fucking
him.
raps the whole movie.
Oh yeah, I heard about
and
that.
The credit sequence is him rapping about the movie. I'm not joking. It's so you're watching this girl's documentary, and then it says, and my brother says I have to put this part in, and then it cuts to the credits where he's rapping about like the plot of the movie.
Wow.
Is it like Will Smith?
No,
and
if
Men in
you
Black?
don't plan on seeing the movie, I highly recommend going and looking that up right after this podcast. It is fan-fucking-tastic. As just a, oh my god, look at this shit.
Alrighty, now on to the gaming section.
Oh, yes.
Why don't we start off with Josiah? Because I know he's a big, huge gamer.
Okay, let's see. So just a list. Let's find a list of what games I played this year. It's not very long. Let's see. Started out strong with Sakura Clicker.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I'm still playing GTA 5 for the PC and for the Xbox 360. I smacked through Cruise on both. That I still play with. GTA 5 for the PC is still getting updates. And still,
Yeah, I noticed that.
Being pretty
That's
good.
weird.
Yes, it's still going strong, and I love it. The other, let's see, what else did I play? Shit, let's see. as far as new games, I got Halo 4 and the new Killer Instinct. Halo 5, I'm sorry, and Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Which did that come out this
They
year?
came out for PC this year.
Well, I got it for Xbox.
Okay, that came out at launch, I think, or right after launch, so years ago.
Okay.
But Season 2 came out this year,
uh,
so there you go.
Yeah.
No, but I just got Season 1.
Well, Jesus, goddammit.
But regardless. I also have Legacy of the Duelist, which was probably the last good Konami game ever to be made.
What's that?
It's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay, did any of you watch anything of the Spooky's House of Jump Scares DLC?
Yeah.
Oh,
At
yeah,
the end of the credits, when it says "In memory of Konami."
Oh yeah, that was great. That was
lost
great.
it. Holy shit.
They're releasing those. What was it? Matt was
Oh
releasing
yeah,
it.
that bit was fantastic. I hope more games do that.
Everybody just has that.
I want that to be in Kojima's new game.
In loving passing.
In memory of Konami as I rise above the ashes.
I also started playing Smite.
Oh man.
Let's see. And World of Tanks and some other free-to-play games. I haven't really bought a whole bunch. Oh well. No, wait. When did that come out? Watch me try to look this up again before I tell you.
Shame. Which game is this?
Okay, yeah. So this is my game of the year. It's Splatoon
Oh,
for Wii U.
yeah, that's a good ass game. I haven't played it nearly as much as it deserves.
I know. Once I haven't played it in like 2 months, but I was really active. I got up to A rank, just A, not minus or plus in the multiplayer. So I was doing pretty good. I was skating pretty hard. We actually tried to get a Splatoon team from the Hypest, but none of us were ever on it.
I remember that. Yeah.
That fell through super hard. We never even met once. I added all of them on my Nintendo, Friends Network, and no conversation was ever had after that. No, that was definitely my game of the year. I didn't really have any terrible games because I usually don't buy bad games.
Oh.
Because I don't buy that many games. If I want a game, I buy it. That's usually the philosophy I live my life on.
So
I'm very particular. The games have to be, I don't have a lot of time right now to just sit down and, play games for hours and hours and hours. So it has to be something I can come back to, back and forth a lot. So that's my in-depth gaming summary of all the games of 2015.
Killer Instinct.
Season 2.
It's better than Pixar's. Alright. Sterling, games?
So, the biggest 3 that I've played, well, 4, I guess. I'll start with the Uncharted collection for the PS4. Wowzers, as a game series that I wasn't really particularly fond of in the PS3 era, I played them all to completion in the PS3 era, and I was like,
it's a game.
That's pretty alright. Yeah. The Uncharted collection ups the ante so much that I'm like, are these even the same games? Now, granted, they pretty much are the same game, but the fidelity on the visuals and the controlling of every single one of them is perfected almost amazingly. And yeah, that's a great game series for the PS4 that was alright in the PS4. And then the other one, The Witcher 3. Now, the only complaints I have of this game is the controllability is pretty not that greatly optimized for consoles. I'm not too sure what it is on
For
PC,
Witcher?
but I'm pretty sure.
For Witcher?
Huh?
Yeah,
For
it's
The
solid
Witcher
on
3.
PC. It works.
Yeah. The controllability on consoles though is
A little jank.
like you can tell that it was supposed to be only PC because the controllability is like weirdly complicated and weirdly
There's so much shit that you can do.
just not optimized at all for a controller. Like,
Yeah.
Even though it's not like that extremely stressing as the last two. I just have to say that wasn't super great, but everything else from the writing to the character development to how much is there, how much content, how much richness is in every single part of this land, it's pretty fantastic for a game that comes out, and even though it even has DLC coming and has some right now, it's pretty filling.
It's a long ass game.
Yeah. And I just wish that the controllability was better because at this point of time I'm restarting it because I just can't. I barely got into the groove of controlling it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do all this stuff now perfectly.
Go back.
Let me just restart it. Then the next two, the second one being the first one right now that I'm going to say is the runner-up, Undertale. Oh my gosh, Undertale.
Who would have guessed that someone liked that game?
Now I'm going to say that how much publicity it's got
A bit much.
is the worst.
A big turnoff.
Is the worst thing that I can think of, because even in the game it says, hey, why not you just keep it for yourselves and have it like left for everyone to find out for themselves about this stuff. And yeah, but everything else, it's a fun little game. It's great. The replayability is actually pretty great, as in the replayability isn't actually replaying.
It's a totally different.
It's like a totally different run each time, and that's pretty great. Well, not really each time, but there's multiple factors that can factor in. But I will say that the highest run in Undertale for me has to be hands down the genocide one. I liked it better than the true ending and the normal
Neutral.
ending. Neutral. Yeah, I really like going through the neutral ending and then the freaking pacifist one, and then like fudge all that jacks, let me genocide all these people, and that was like the best thing I've ever done in a game. Like, not to be like, oh yeah, killing all that stuff is great, but like the way it handles it is pretty fantastic. And then number one, which I'm still kind of about because I'm not really a huge fan of it, but it does a lot of things right, and I'm still playing it, which is Bloodborne. I've already said all my stuff about Bloodborne since its release, but well, around that
Yeah, it's
time.
like almost a full year ago now. It came out in February, right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, and I got like a PS4 in like 2 months after, 3 months after, around that time. But yeah, great combat. The only thing that I'm still kind of about is the variety of stuff that you get, and the variety of the bosses still are very downplayed compared to the other ones in the series of Dark Souls and Demon Souls. It feels a little bit too much streamlined, but that's not extremely a bad thing, not for this kind of thing. Other than that, it's a pretty good game. I like it. Oh, actually, the number one, I totally forgot. The actual number one game of the year of yours truly is Dead or Alive 5, Last Round. Yeah. Yeah.
How
great
can we
fighting
forget?
game. Yeah, it's my favorite fighting game franchise ever, and for the reasons being, it's a good fighting game. What?
Shocker.
That's really about it. Like,
You don't like all those
I
DLC
really
packs?
like the fighting. That's really hilarious. Those DLC packs are amazingly not that amazing. Like, I get some of them, like, but a lot of them are just like, oh hey, why don't you have
I heard there was
all
one
these
named
other-
after you, actually. It was like the anime from 10 years ago pack, and you just get a bunch of skins from Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's a Misty skin in there somewhere.
But yeah, it's a fighting game that, well, it's a game in general that every time I have free time or whatever, that's my go-to next to Bloodborne now. But since Dead or Alive 5 came out in like 2013,
Yeah.
Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate came out like around that time, 2014, I think. I don't know.
Okay, bad games.
And then Last Round barely came out.
Not yet.
Well, not really barely. It came out this year, around like January and February, something like that. And I've just been doing that. I've basically... Oh, and that's the only one, well, one of the only 2 games I've ever platinumed on the PlayStation. So, yeah. The other one being Battlefield 3. But that's just because I spent too much of my time just going through everything. But in Dead or Alive 5, the platining system is actually pretty forgiving, even though a lot of those things are kind of not really super amazing. But yeah, it's a good game if you like 3D fighting games.
Or tend to.
Yeah, that's... what about you?
Well, wait, what's your worst game? Any game you
particularly?
particularly hated?
Oh, worst games? It's not really a bad game, I would ever say, but the longevity of it hurts it almost completely. And I'm gonna say Star Wars Battlefront.
Okay, give me a minute. I'll talk about that one. We will talk about Battlefront in a minute.
But yeah, I really like the game. I like how it plays. I like everything about it. How it does things differently. The only thing that's different about it that I didn't like was that it's not something I would really ever play more than 20 hours of my entire life.
I have 19 hours on it, and that's when I quit. Okay, so for me, I played a hell of a lot of games. I'm gonna give a quick plug to Warframe, which is, I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it is an actually kick-ass MMO type thing online, where, and by MMO, you're only ever playing with 3 other people at most. Actually 8 now in certain missions, but usually you just play it with 3 other people, and they're almost exclusively like your friends. You're hardly ever doing randoms. And it is a third-person space ninja thing, and it is fan-fucking-tastic. You're kind of like a robot thing, without getting into too much detail, and there's lots of different frames, and they're coming out with new ones all the time, and it's awesome. I enjoy it very much.
Have you ever heard of
Yes.
Is there something in there that kind of looks like that?
1 second. Let me remind myself what he looks like.
Because, like,
Yes.
every time I look at that...
That is very similar to the style. God damn it, what was the name of their first game? The developers who make Warframe made a game a long time ago that just has characters from this in it. Dark something. But it's a really good game. I would recommend it to anyone. Bows in it are fantastic. I played a lot of Battlefront 2. I was amazed at how much of a community that has on Game Ranger. My friend, I have a friend at that who's fucking amazing, but he hates the game. He hates everything about Battlefront 2, but he's fucking fantastic at it, so we just force him to play sometimes.
That sounds like a normal occurrence.
I'm gonna go through some games really quick. Game Dev Tycoon, fuck that game. Fuck that game for making me think about things for, like, what should I title this game? And then I'm like, 30 minutes pass by. Alien Isolation. I played that game for like 30 minutes, turned it off, said that's too scary, went back like a week later, played for like an hour, said that's too scary. Went back like another week later with a friend of mine who'd beaten the game on Skype screen share, just so I could have someone there to talk me through it. And if I don't mean like give me a walkthrough, I mean just like it'll be okay, you'll be fine. Depth went on sale. That's this kind of indie game about divers versus sharks, asymmetrical multiplayer. It's alright. It's it's a cool concept. Runs out soon. Guilty Gear Xrd. Guilty Gear is my favorite fighting game franchise. I got that PC release a few days ago. Fuck that game because the connection issues are bullshit. I haven't been able to play online yet because the online is kind of jank right now. Hopefully that gets fixed. The gameplay otherwise is fantastic. I love Slayer so much. Metal Gear, controversial game this year. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the story more than most do as well. Not as good as other Metal Gear games, but still really solid. Probably the best playing Metal Gear ever. One of the best quote-unquote stealth games ever. Best mechanically. It's fantastic. I love it. Could have been so much better, but like the potential for that game is through the roof. If they could have just let him finish it.
Have you played the online?
No. I don't even think it's out for PC yet. MGO. Well, MGO, not the FOBs have been available since day one, but those are kind of pointless. MGO I think comes out January, so that's something I'm looking forward to.
It's
good,
amazing.
Good. Papers, Please came out a few years ago, I think. I just played it a few weeks ago. That game's fantastic. Love everything about that game. Jedi Academy, I talked about that. I fucking suck at it. It's great. Got all 3 of the Witchers and are playing through all of them. They're good. Wolfenstein's amazing. You're playing as John Cena in a first-person shooter. It's fucking fantastic. Some of the lines in that game are the best lines of dialogue in a first-person shooter of all time. Like, fucking the prequel Old Blood game has a line where the guy says, careful, stealth this area, there's so many. And Blazkowicz replies with, what? Kill all the Nazis? Okay. And then he goes, no, if anyone sees you, you are screwed. And Blazkowicz just starts going, kill all of them? Gotcha. It's fantastic. The writing in that game, I don't even know if it has a multiplayer element at all. I don't think it does. To see that in a modern day first person shooter, that's nuts. They're very confident in their ability to tell a story in a first person shooter, and they nailed it, I think. I'm looking forward to XCOM Enemy Unknown, which I just got gifted to me, and I've never played. A friend got it for me mostly because he knows I fucking bitch about the RNG in it a lot. But the lack of RNG, actually. I bitched to my friend about it because theoretically, if you had a quick save mechanic and the thing said you have a 97% chance to hit, and you you saved, fired, and missed, and reloaded it, you would miss every time. It's not an actual 97%. It's lying to you. You're gonna miss, but there was a 97% chance that you would hit. So I bitched about that to him, so he ended up buying me the game. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Now, Battlefront. That game, I hate that game because it's amazing. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And it's the most fuck you for giving me a game that not only is visually amazing, it's the best controlling of an X-Wing or a shooter or like a fighter pilot since Rogue Squadron. It is, which are two of my favorite games ever. It's an amazing shooter, a bit of balance issues, but it still plays amazing. Yeah. Fuck you for giving me an eighth of a game. God damn it. You give me the best piece of cake ever, but you give me like a fork of it and show me the rest of it and say you have to pay $110 to get this whole cake. God damn it.
Now, my biggest thing with Battlefront, what I played of it, is that somehow a TIE fighter, which is shaped like essentially a box, it handles better than an X-Wing, which is aerodynamically
Now, I've talked about this with my friends before Battlefront came out. I love the TIE fighter so much because fuck you, it shouldn't fly. That thing shouldn't fly. I love the TIE fighter design so much.
I mean, the thing about the TIE fighters is like the lore behind it perfectly supports its shape. You know, like there's a reactor in the middle and it has to go.
They end up making it. They make it make sense, but like looking visually, that thing should not be in the air.
Well, it's you know, it's for space travel where it's a lot, you know, less air.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that they make it seem so easily to fly through different atmospheres on planets. Now I mean, I understand if it's just for space battles, you know, and that's why in the movies, that's why you see, you know, most of the time, it's just, you know, like the bombers are aerodynamic, you know, because they bomb. You know, like they'll go into space, they'll bomb. They go into, you know, like planets, they'll bomb. But the actual TIE fighters, those, most of the time you just see them in space in the movies.
In the older movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like their way of saying, yeah. But no, it still doesn't make any sense why the TIE Fighter. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love how the TIE Fighter handles like so well. But it's like, why does the X-Wing handle less than it though? Like, why couldn't you program both of them to handle amazing? Like, I don't understand. My only complaint. Well, my only nitpicking complaint. And I remember Sterling showing us some interesting video footage of Battlefront when he was playing it.
Yeah, that's right. The one, the one where I go,
Oh my gosh. But now let's get this party bus moving on to anime of the year, Sterling.
Anime of the year?
Yeah, that you've watched.
That I've
It doesn't
watched.
necessarily have to be this year because I know how you are.
Like the only one I watched that was actually pretty great was Ore Monogatari. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's the only one I watched in the 2015. And yeah, that's where my money goes to. Now, of course, I haven't watched every single thing after that or in between that. It's just yeah.
Well, what did you watch this year that you consider the best?
Well, have I watched this year?
Yeah, just like
Like
not from this year, but just
in general.
this, yeah, that stood out.
I'd say Usagi Drop is one of the top tierest things I've ever seen.
I remember that. I remember that too. You messaged me at like 3 in the, well, it was 3 in the morning where I was. It was like midnight where you, well, it was like 1 in the morning where you were. And you're like, anime suggestions, go. And I just got done like working 12 hours at a fighting event. And I was like on my friend's pull-out couch trying to get some sleep before tomorrow. And I was like, what the hell? And I had nothing like prepared. And I was like, okay, good anime. And I like had to force something,
yeah,
like forcibly remember. Oh man, but yeah, I remember exactly how that went down.
I am back. Sorry, minor technical issues on my end.
Yeah.
That's bad weather here in Eugene.
Well, thanks, Trey. We were gonna play it off, and we had already gone on to anime. And no, you just you broke the fourth wall and let the audience know of our technical difficulties. Every single time we do this, every single time I try and gloss over that.
All right.
Oh
man. Well, since you're back,
I'll do better next time.
Continue on with what you were saying, Trey, of the game stuff.
Fuck Battlefront. Yeah, it's just that earns most disappointing game of the year for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Along with Metal Gear Solid's up there too, even though the difference is Metal Gear Solid's a 9 or an 8, but it could have been a 15. Battlefront is bad, and but the parts that we do have is so good. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just the fact that it has like essentially 6 maps. I think there are 12 total, but they're only used in certain modes, and so you only end up actually playing like 6 different maps. That's garbage. Adding in Jakku for free is cool. Good move. Surprisingly good move by EA. So that's weird. But
and it earns its namesake for free because it's not really anything amazing.
It's nothing.
It's just Jakku.
It's just Jakku. And to be fair, I think Jakku is maybe the best map in the game.
Yeah,
with the best
verticality.
Yeah, with the best new game mode. But that game mode is another game mode ripped straight out of Battlefield. And it's nothing new. And original Battlefront gameplay still isn't in there.
Yep.
So I'm not going to buy the season pass. I might buy certain packs if what they say in them is cool. Yeah. If the pack says new game mode new maps, multiple new maps, maybe even new heroes, I'd be down. If a pack, they said they're not going to do this, but if a pack comes out and says Force Awakens, new heroes, all the people from the Force Awakens, and look at this snowy forest map, and look at this cool shit, I would be so down for that.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
Well, see, that's what a lot of people thought, you know.
Yeah.
With the content missing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But after the movie, like,
Extremely
why?
with the Jakku one, like, you're just gonna give me that little thing of that? Really?
And that's not even from the new movie. That's what
that's in between.
That's what set up the planet for the new movie. That was like 60 years ago. It's like fucking Christ.
All right, but we can go on and on about this, but we have a Star Wars podcast coming up next week.
Yes. Okay. So we'll talk about all the cool things and everything later. Yeah, Battlefront's bad. Worst game I played this year. It did not come out this year, but oh my sweet Christ, Aliens, Colonial Marines.
I knew as soon as you said Alien.
My friend and I said, yo, this is on sale. It's a piece of shit. Let's do it. And we're like,
is there co-op in that?
Yeah, there's co-op. And we were so gung-ho, like, yo, we're gonna do this whole thing. Mission 3, I think, is where we're, like, my soul has died. It is just the most lifeless, broken game. I just, at any point, being able to walk into another character model and just see the inside of their mouth and everything, it's... Like, bounding boxes aren't in place. Objective markers are objectively wrong.
Yeah, but it's retro. I mean, that's what they're going for. It's retro. It brings back those retro memories.
Straight up, you punch off an alien in, like, the first 5 minutes of the game, and then throughout the game you can just melee the aliens to death.
Wow.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about Fallout 4 at all. Fallout 4 is alright. It's good. I'm a huge fan of Fallout 3. I like New Vegas more. I think New Vegas is the pinnacle so far. Fallout 4 was a really weird spot for me where I was like getting into it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. I had like 98 hours. I was going to go take the castle, and I turned it off, and I was like, okay, tomorrow I'll do that. When Haley gets over here, I'll blah, blah, blah. And then I just never played it again. I haven't had the feeling of, I should boot up Fallout 4 ever since. So I've been playing literally everything else on my Steam list, and eventually I'll get back to it and play it all through and finish it and go, But it just doesn't have that gripping factor that I think New Vegas did with its storyline, or 3 did with its environment. It's missing. Like, it's, in my opinion, probably the most empty game world of the 3. Like, New Vegas had a lot more empty space in between things, but when you got to something, it had life in it. And 4, it just seems like, here's another empty construction, like, factory or something. Or, here's Diamond City, this legitimately cool-looking place. What's surrounding it? Just camps of super mutants. Just go kill them, I guess. Fun. When I read, there's a book in there that's like, there's this giant sea monster that destroyed the fort, whatever, what that's now called, the castle for the Minutemen. And I'm like, yo, this is cool. And then you get there and it's just a big Mirelurk. And you're like, god damn it. I was so hoping for kaiju. I was so like, oh man. And then no, it's just like triple the size of a Mirelurk. Called like Queen Mirelurk or some shit. It's like, god damn it, this could have been cool.
Yeah.
And I don't like what they did with the power armor. A lot of the game is just disappointing, but the fact is it's still a huge game that has a lot of stuff in it, and the gameplay's fun, so I'll end up playing it.
Yeah.
Still, Theft of the Year is the BB-8 socks. Gotta get on this.
So that ends your stuff?
That ends my stuff, yeah.
Alright, so we're continuing on with the best anime
Best anime
that we've seen this year. Not as well. First,
not premiered, but
yeah,
seen.
And I already dropped Ori Monogatari for this year, since that's the only one I've actually seen.
Is that the romance one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's on my list right now. I didn't watch a lot of anime this year. I kind of phased out of the anime scene for a little bit, and then last Saturday, a friend of mine was like, "Yo, we're having a movie party at my house tonight and a Christmas thing. Before that, do you want to come over at like 7 a.m. and just watch all of One Punch Man with me?"
Twice?
Wow.
So I went over, we played a lot of Smash, which, by the way, that's almost my game of the year, but it came out in November, so whatever. Watched all of One Punch Man and played a lot of Smash. And One Punch Man is fucking great. Best joke in that is the guy announces his like super move title. He's like, whatever, Onamona, Gatari, blah blah. He's doing his super bullshit move, and then One Punch Man just says series of regular punches as he's fucking fantastic.
Wow.
That series is great. It does not deserve to be ranked above Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones on IMDb right now.
Yeah.
But
that's a lie.
it's fucking great.
If you read the mango and the webcomic as much as I have, it only goes up. It doesn't stop.
Okay, that's so good. I really enjoyed it. It's fantastic. It is the best piece of superhero fiction I have read / seen / experienced in a long time. Saitama is fantastic. I love that he's the shittiest drawn character in his own show. His design is just, everything is so on point in terms of like presentation. I'm sure mountains have been said about how good One Punch Man is, and I'm not adding anything new at all, but it's fucking good. Everyone should go watch it.
So has there been anything that you've seen that hasn't come out this year, but you've seen in this year?
Pretty much all I watched anime-wise besides that this year was I rewatched Avatar, and that's barely an anime.
Your last anime?
Yeah, that's
not an anime.
It's not an anime, but it's anime style. So I'm gonna just count it because I haven't seen anything else. Season 1 fucking sucks of Avatar.
You're right about that. Season 2 was much better.
Season 1 of anime sucks. Season 2 of Pixar sucks. No, Season 1 of Avatar is fucking awful. Holy shit, I forgot how bad it was. It sets it up good, but like fuck, it gets boring.
Trey, I know it's your first time on the podcast, but you're burning some heavy bridges by saying that Avatar is an anime here. Like, not from me or from Sterling, because we really don't care that much. But like from other people, man, we get so much hate mail.
I'll take a hardline stance right here. Fucking. At first, I was like, you know what, Avatar, I'll count it as one because I haven't seen any other anime. Now I'm full on board. Avatar's the anime.
So, that's all you watched was just all of that part, or did you see Korra as well?
I didn't see Korra. I still need to see that. I caught bits and pieces of other anime here and there. Actual anime, not Avatar-esque anime. I'm trying to think of some titles, but I can't really. Watched the first 2 episodes of Kill la Kill, and I need to finish it because that's good. More friends showed me creepy anime bullshit like Seto Kai Yakuin Domo, and
what?
I know that one. No, Sterling, you're too young.
Well, I might know it.
And Monster Musume.
It's the one with the pervy school, and there's one guy who's normal,
Yep.
and everyone else around him's perverts, and they act like it's normal, and he's like, why am I in this world? And there's 1 and 2 seasons of that.
And so you have, he showed it to me.
Like I said,
It's it's actually funny because I speak Japanese, and 95% of the jokes in that show are dirty Japanese puns that if you're just watching a sub, you will not get at all.
Yeah, that's true.
So, because I've taken like 13 years of Japanese class, I get a lot of the jokes that a lot of people don't. So my friend was just showing it to me as like, hey, look at this dirty anime bullshit. And I was like, no, that's a pun about dicks. But,
yeah.
So that's bad, but kind of funny if you're into that.
No, that's not the worst. That's actually pretty good as far as the dirty comedy
Monster
stuff
Musume.
goes. That's like top tier.
A friend of mine got way too into Monster Musume, and I swear to God, when I confronted him about it, he said, I don't know, I like the characters.
Well, I hate the name drop, but I mean, everyone knows it's John.
No, slightly less generic.
Oh, mama.
Whoa.
Slightly less generic of a name. His name's Ryan.
Oh, okay, of a name. Okay. Nice save there. Good job.
What did you think I meant?
Nothing.
Okay, I missed the joke there. I'll sandbag it.
That's fine. We could just move on. That's fine.
But yeah, no, I wasn't too into anime this year. I've had much more anime-focused years. Oh wait, fuck. Did Amagi Brilliant Park? Did that come out this year?
I think so.
Oh,
I think it came out.
I like that. That one was good. That might have been last year, but that shit was good.
Let me just get the. No, that was definitely last year.
Okay. Okay, that was a good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
It ended Christmas last year. All right. Yeah, that was all right. I like that one. Had a good ass opening.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, not too much this year.
What about worse?
Season 1 of Avatar, worst anime. No, worst anime, Monster Musume.
Oof.
Shit.
Ooh man, now you just tripled our hate mail, buddy. I read all of those.
Send all the ones direct. Man, fuck that new guy. Send them straight to me.
All right. You're all done?
Yeah, I'll call it.
All right. I'll continue on with my tirade.
Ready to hear some animes I don't know about.
So I said Ori Monogatari was this whole year. That's the only one that I've seen. But the one that I've seen in this year that didn't come out this year. I'd have to go with Usagi Drop.
Your boy.
With an honorable second runner-up of oh my gosh, did I forget the name already? Oh geez.
What's it about?
Oh gosh. Oh good. Oh my gosh. The Mighty
Birdie,
yeah. Birdie the Mighty. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Birdie the Mighty Decode. That has some of the best animation I've ever seen, used in a way that I've never even thought of using cartoon-esque applications in an anime that is amazing, and it sometimes blurs the lines of what you can do with an anime that has a strong, significant art style, and just say, to heck with that, we'll do it this way in this style, and it like perfectly seamlessly goes through that art style, and it just changes, but you don't notice the change because it changes ever so slightly to that degree, and it's amazing how it does that. But that's not the best part of it. The best part of it is the actual story and how everything makes sense, even with like BS in it and like like time travel and future stuff and all that stuff. It's almost Rick and Morty levels of high octane of, hey, we're gonna sell this joke, but we're also gonna tell you how this joke is, and it's awesome. Other than that, I went through like a Hello Kitty of a lot of stuff.
Oh man, I thought we were going different places.
Gundam. I finished Gundam this year. I started it I think I started it and ended it this year, but I might be wrong. But yeah, Gundam's great. The one that came out amazing was 00, but the two smartest ones were the first Gundam and the War in the Pocket OVA that came out after like the first 6 like main series. Yeah, it's amazing that the first Gundam in 1979 was smarter than all its oh my gosh, I can't think of the word.
Predecessors?
All the things that came after it. Because everything that is presented to you and you expect an answer or a question, you always get the answer to that question or a question to that answer that is later than answered for you in a later date, and it's like, what? I didn't even think that was a problem, but now that you told me that it was a problem and solved it in the amount of time that you've given me, I'm like, wow, this is, I guess I should turn on my brain right now so that I can because yeah, it's pretty great. Sad to say that the next two weren't all that smart, but were pretty they're fan favorites. One of them being like the top fan favorite being Zeta Gundam, which I'll disagree 100%. Like, no. It's still a good anime. It's a great anime as well, but it puts too much into. It's kind of like how Star Wars, like how at the ending of like all the rest of the Star Wars movies kind of gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and had more stuff in it.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we have a space ending, oh, we have a Jedi ending, and we have a whatever, all that stuff. And it's kind of like, it's 50 episodes for each Gundam main series almost. And wow, is it ever like 15 episodes for an ending that just goes on and on and on. Like, oh wow. Which, wow. It's great if you like that kind of stuff, but it's not really cost efficient to just like prolong it in that state. That's why Gundam ended like at 40 something instead of 50 at the regular one. Other than that, I'm pretty sure that there was more, but I'm just gonna say that's about it. Now as for worse, oh jeez.
Avatar Season 1.
Oh boy. I did see, oh my goodness, jeez. I did see Pupa.
Oh yeah. I was thinking, I was like, what didn't he like? Really bad.
Pupa, yeah. It's 35 minutes of your life down the drain.
I mean, you could be making money donating plasma. Let's just put this into perspective, Jones.
Because it's 12 episodes or 11 episodes that are 3 minutes each, which
Oh, fuck.
okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, you know what? Ruby. I watched Ruby this year.
That's not an anime either. But it is terrible. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Later.
I also watched Genocyber. It's an OVA that all it wanted to do was show you blood and gore stuff. And it succeeded in that. And that's all it ever really succeeded in. Because everything else is just not good. Like, all the building blocks are all there. Like, you could have a great story. You could have great characters. All the characters are all set in motion. But you choose to lessen it by showing, oh, look what I can do with all this blood and gore stuff. Ooh, I'm so edgy. And then that's it.
The edge became too thin.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that there was more, but I'm not going to count the 6s. Because those are still okay. There wasn't any 5s. Because for me, a 5 is the worst that you can do. Because a 4 and below are at least
entertaining to make fun of.
And yeah, entertaining to make fun of. But a 5 out of 10 is like, you did the thing, but the thing that you wanted to do isn't there. And it's like, I'm literally watching paint dry on a wall, and I'm getting the same experience by watching this anime. But yeah, that's about it for me. What about you, Josiah?
Me?
Well, I know you've had a long time with this.
Okay, let's see. So as far as this year goes, I have a lot of choices. Honestly, the best anime this year that premiered this year was
Avatar.
No. It was season 3. No, it's Young Blackjack, hands down.
Yeah. And why is that, Mr. Josiah?
It's extremely biased, but this is my list. It's not a definitive review. Even then, there's nothing wrong with it. On a huge scale, or there's only a few things on a little scale that I could even think that would be, some people wouldn't like.
Yeah.
Now, of course, just like every other story or every other, work, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Yep.
But no, for me, this is perfect. I did not know I wanted this until I saw it, and then I knew that I had been missing this all my life since I fell in love with Blackjack originally.
And you've seen all of the other ones too?
Oh yeah,
Like
all
100%.
movies. Yeah.
Alrighty. Cool.
So yeah, I've dived into the depths and found the pearl at the bottom of the ocean, and there was plenty of pearls down there. I mean, the mains. I do have some problems with the main series, Blackjack, the older one.
Yeah.
But it was a different time, and if they redid it today, they probably would do a better job. It was having a hard time getting funded back then, even though there are a bunch of little episodes. You start to see it. Later on in the series, but. No, that was definitely 2015 Young Blackjack all the way.
So, what is Blackjack? Give me the lowdown real quick.
Well, Blackjack is first of all, it's a manga done by Tetsuka Ozuka, or Samu Tetsuka, I believe his name is, and he's the same guy who did Astro Boy and a whole bunch of different mangas back in the day. He was the guy who inspired all the guys that now are writing, we're back when writing when we were kids, like back in the 90s. He inspired all those guys, even the guy who wrote Dragon Ball. Like, everybody looks up to him. Like, his stories are basically timeless. And they also, and Disney also stole The Lion King from him. Literally.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
I mean, the little lion's name was Kimba the lion cub's name was Kimba with a K. Like, okay, time to get off my soapbox here. But Blackjack, no, he is a trauma survivor. Let me put this as spoiler free as possible. He is a trauma survivor who becomes a doctor, and they are about a surgeon to be precise. He is a doctor of medicine, but his specialty is surgery. And this is the story of his adventures while working on cases and other misadventures and what falls upon him and, everyday life sort of stuff as well. But those are his stories, and I cannot tell you anything further than that without spoiling it, but he is house before house. Let me put it that way.
Oh, shit. Okay, I am watching this tonight.
There's like, what is it, like 50 episodes in the original?
Fantastic.
40 something.
40
or
something,
60, I think.
60?
I'm pretty sure.
I knew it was either somewhere in between 40 or 60, but because it was a weird one,
Yeah. A lot of those ones were.
This hype train's
weird.
gonna get a rolling.
But yeah, that's big. And then Young Blackjack is after he wrote Blackjack, he wrote of his days in university and about like the big events going around. It was it was either I think it wasn't the Korean War. It was the
Vietnam War?
Yeah, the Vietnam War. And this one circles around that time when he was in college, and Vietnam War is a big like aspect of it, and he wrote about that, and also like like race issues in America and everything. Like there's a whole big like sort of stuff that he fills in, with like him going to university and him being a medical student and becoming an intern, and like everything leading up to who he becomes today. Because in the series and in the manga, you get to see a lot of like his childhood and a lot of him like being a doctor. He's like 30, 40 at that time in the main series ish. But no, this kind of bridges that gap, and it's well done. They perfectly encompass his original drawings in a modern style without making it look ridiculous or not close enough. Either ridiculous on it's exactly like the manga, or ridiculous because he has a pretty old style, or ridiculous in which they just completely scrapped all the originals, and just barely made like a copy and paste type of thing. But that anyone, I would recommend Blackjack if you like anything to do with like medical.
And should we watch
sort of
Young Blackjack first and then Blackjack, or order it came out, Blackjack, Young Blackjack?
No, you gotta watch it in the order it comes out, because
Good.
you don't know there's a lot of stuff that you need to know about before, because he wrote Young Blackjack after he finished the original manga, and so there's a lot of stuff that you need to know from the original Blackjack series first, Dr. Blackjack. Let's see. And then my favorite that did not come out in 2015, but I watched this year. Let's see.
It's taken a lot for me to not say Kamen Rider.
No, that's not an anime.
But it's in Japan.
Wow, you're definitely the first person that ever told me that.
Okay. Oh man, I've heard that a lot too, I know.
You know what's funnier? Around this time that Gundam Wing became popular, every series is now, did you watch that new Gundam Wing?
Oh gosh.
Oh, is that new Gundam Wing great? Oh, are you watching the old Gundam Wings or the new Gundam Wings? Oh,
okay. Okay, no, probably definitely. Okay, my number one for not made in 2015 would be Beyond the Boundary or Kyokai no Kanata.
What's that?
That one, it's based off of a light novel, and
What's its
if you want to see
God-given name in English? Please.
Beyond the Boundary, that's the one I said originally. And I think you mean Christian name, by the way. But we only talk about Christian animes here.
Beyond the Boundary?
Oh,
Alright.
fuck.
Yeah, and if you want to look it up, Demi D does a pretty good review on it without being heavy on the spoilers. So I would definitely look that up. He's pretty good at doing those reviews without a whole bunch of spoiler content. Although...
Unless it sucks like Odd No Zero.
Yeah, well, then it's not really a spoiler, is it? It sucks, But... No, this one, it's got a little bit of everything in it. I really enjoyed it. There was something that caught me completely off guard, which is very hard for anime in this day and age. Because this one came out like 2015? No, not 15. 2014, 2013. Yeah, it was in 2013. And I had put it off because it was just a no-name at the time, and then it got a cult following, and then I saw Demi D, write about it, and so I watched it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely...
is it a show, or is it a movie, or...?
It's a show.
Okay.
And it's based off light novels. I think it's like 3 light novels. Yeah, it was really done. Oh, and the art style is perfect from like the pictures in the light novel. Like they did it really well. And the art style is really well animated, and there's a lot of difficult shots, and there's one character in particular with the scarf that I love to death. He is my hero, and I want to be just like him, and he's not even the main character. But and worst animus, which is a lie because there's no wrong anime, but let's see. It would probably be. This is funny because it'd probably be Comet Lucifer, because I was
Wait, what?
a lot of the times I would try to download Concrete Revolutio, and Comet Lucifer came out on the same day and started with the C as well, and I would download that and watch about halfway through and realize what the hell am I watching, and it was always absolutely terrible. And so I watched about a third of that series incidentally.
So what is it?
Comet Lucifer?
How I Met Lucifer?
No, Comet.
Oh.
Comet as in
Lucifer.
the...
Alright.
How do I bury these Lucifers?
So what was so bad about it?
Oh, it's generic. It's...
Ooh, generic. The best kind.
I don't know. It didn't hook me. It was just trash that was sent out for money, basically. Nothing original. Nothing that would caught the eye. No, it's not good storytelling. No, but okay.
Glowing
Okay,
reviews.
serious time. Something that I actually watched all the way through. And that would probably be... let's see. Yeah, it'd probably be the new filler season of World Trigger, because they're like, oh hey, the manga is behind, and so let's cut off the main series, and then we'll just continue on with filler, but we'll distinguish it.
Awesome.
So real fans know, but we'll still keep going because the money machine's cranking stuff out, and this should definitely be a movie, so no one should ever have to watch it unless they don't want to.
Yeah.
Because they do actually put bits and pieces of actual story from the manga in there,
Yeah.
which is a terrible idea. God, this is so stupid.
Wow.
And so the series is going so well. It was so good. It was following the manga like that. It was great. It was upbeat. It was getting big on there. It was over like 30 episodes.
Yeah.
I think it was getting up to like 40 before it split. And then it's just like, hey, Why stop? Let's just keep the train going. And I'm like, so many series and so many studios have made the right call this year.
Yeah.
So many. Like One Punch Man, if they didn't know their fan base was their fan base, like they could have kept going, they would have ruined that series. Like I could see it in their eyes. Like they wanted to ruin that series for money.
Yeah.
But thankfully, people with brains were there. And so it stopped. That was my biggest fear for One Punch Man.
Yeah.
But that new season of World Trigger is just god awful.
Wow.
It's like that whole. It's like Fairy Tail all over again. Oh my gosh. Fairy Tail just likes to have these big pockets.
Yeah.
It's basically like Bleach, but they try and make the filler canon. It's not.
Wow. Yeah.
In which they still sometimes they'll reference back to it for no reason, and thankfully they stopped doing that. Like finally they stopped referencing, filler as real, continuity, and I'm so happy. And I'm so happy that it's going strong again, and I'm gonna hit my head on the desk if they do it again. But because it's a good mango, and I've been reading Fairy Tail since it first came out because I love the guy. I'm terrible with mangaka's names, but he also made Rave Master.
Yeah.
It's Hiro Mashima, yeah. And he made a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of crossovers.
Something like that. And Harugu or something like that.
No, he made, let's see, what was it? There was also Monster Soul, Chameleon was a one-shot, and he's had some other things, but Magician was also his claim to fame that turned into Rave, which is also known as English Rave Master.
Yeah.
But no, his art style is very similar to Bobo Bobo. His old style is. His newer style is much more his own. He's kind of changed like Araki did. Not as dramatically, but enough. You can tell. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough that it distinguishes him more. And it's obvious. He's been working on it much more. But that sums up that.
So that ends your stuff.
Yeah.
All right. All right. As an ending, let's say at least one, could be at most 3. But what are we looking forward to in this coming year of the 2016? Trey?
Okay. Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1 is, to this day, my favorite game of all time. So I am super stoked for possibly the last in the series, apparently.
Yeah.
According to Kamiya. I fucking love messing those two up on purpose. Piss people off. Call Studio Ghibli Miyazaki, call him Kamiya a few times, and people will get pissed.
Oh, that's right. There is that new Ghibli movie coming out.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Rogue One, the Star Wars film.
Yeah. There are gonna be Star Wars films every year now, right?
Rogue One.
Every beer.
Yeah. Every year we'll get to talk about one at the end of the year. So there's Rogue One, which is about more of a military heist movie about stealing the plans for the original Death Star. Which I wished it was for Death Star 2, because then all we know about that one is many Bothans died. So, I would love to see that.
Oof. Yeah.
So Dark Souls 3, Bothans dying, if only. Fuck, what was it that's coming out? One second, let me look at the little list I have here. Oh, shit. This is all kind of connected. Game-wise, I'm looking forward to more details about Pokemon Go because that has the potential to be amazing or the biggest piece of shit.
Alrighty.
7 Days to Die updates. I really do like that game. It's fucking fantastic.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking forward to more information about the future of Kojima's new project.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I hope there's a section where you just get to beat the shit out of pachinko machines.
First thing I'm looking forward to is Pokken Fighters
Yeah.
on Wii U coming out in the spring of 2016, sometime. Who knows when? Let's see, and then as far as TV shows go, I don't know. I'm keeping my ear to the ground. Something's got to come up pretty soon. It's got to be good. There's nothing. Probably next season of South Park. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then as far as movies,
Movies.
oh well, it's got to be the new Ghostbusters. No, it's not Ghostbusters. No, I'm actually really excited.
Just because.
Even though I'm not, I really don't like Ryan Reynolds. I don't like him. He's a good actor sometimes when he's in the right role, but I am looking forward to the new Deadpool movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I really am. I'm having hopes for this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rated R, so that's good. I mean, the fact that they, blatantly said, this is not going to be a kid's movie. Thank you, for at least that much tells me that they've got ears to the ground, you know. So that's probably my big look to list. Television, I don't know. Animu, I already talked about.
Yep.
So, so that new season, The Gate. Let's get rapey. Okay.
Whoa. Alrighty. What I'm looking forward to is maybe, hopefully, Final Fantasy, something, anything. Hopefully something new. I don't know. Hopefully 15, maybe the 7, chapter 1, 15 minutes of chapter 1. Awesome. I'm hoping for more games on the PlayStation 2 emulator for the PS4. I hope they do some good pulling on, hey, this is a good game, not just have, oh, hey, look, it's a basketball game, yay, or anything like that. And I'm keeping high hopes. Well, I'm keeping hopes in general of basically Berserk, of what that entails.
No, I mean, I think he's talking about the series.
Yeah.
Not the manga. If you haven't paid attention, there's a new series, a new anime set to take place after the major event. That all the other series have stopped at, and talk about his journey as the Black Swordsman, where he gets that name.
Alright.
Except for most of the trailers in CG.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's why it hadn't entered my list, is because I do not have hope, and until I see another trailer. I mean, honestly, it's less than 30 seconds, so we don't know. It's like 2-3 shots at most.
And that
like,
1 second of almost 2D animation was amazing.
Yes, but only because they mirrored it to. It's a glamour shot, okay? Yep. That's what it is, okay? And so we can't take it for anything.
It's to give you that
yet.
little hope.
Yeah, it's to plant the seed of hope in your bosom, so I can harvest it later for money.
Alrighty. And with that, we bid you adieu until 2016. So,
yeah, that's we'll be starting season 3 of the podcast then. It's actually official. This is actually season 2 of the podcast. Yes, exactly. And Bombads. And
maybe they should
Goongans. Are we going to talk about Goongans? Oh, that's just bad. All right. Take us away, Sterling.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.